Greetings and welcome, one and all, back to the Dragon Kitchen, the competition that spans across the multiverse of fantasy, which sees chefs from culinary expertise high in the grand skies above the astral sea, all the way to the deepest and darkest parts of the Underdark, coming together to clash head-to-head for culinary excellence. I am your host, the Dead Aussie Gamer, and of course, we are preparing behind the scenes right now for our chefs to wage culinary war with one another. Now, for those of you who have never been to a Dragon Kitchen before, we, of course, don't want you to just sit there as idle audience members, but we encourage you to take part in the adventure as well, whether it's through donating to the show as we play in order to incite chaos upon our round 2, or if it's simply to just throw your jibs, jabs, and yells and screams and cheers to our competitors, then please do not hesitate. Do not hold back for a single moment, because that's not what we're about here. What we are about, however, is to show you our two competitors. Starting, of course, with our first entrance into the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kobolds of all ages, allow me to introduce to you Robbie Mindflay.
Hey everyone, name is Robbie Mindflay. I'm a kobold. Very, very enriched kobold, enriched with food and spices. From the mountain of Spice Rump, I served under a dragon named Sir Fluffaboo. He was a wondrous dragon, and for the longest time, he always wanted to get fat. Big fat dragon. And he always looked for the best kobolds in the land to be his personalized chefs. Well, me, I fucking sucked. I was not good at being one of his personal chefs. I got fired. I got kicked out of the mountain, exiled forever. Everybody hates me. My family disowned me. My dad said I'm worthless. My mom, she left when I was a kid. I'm here to make Sir Fluffaboo proud. I've been traveling the worlds for a long time, killing, smiting, chopping, cooking, everything I can find to make the best dishes in the land. And by winning this tournament, I will be sure to return back to Mount Spice Rump and prove to Sir Fluffaboo, the big, elder, red, fat dragon, that I can be his personalized chef. I am Robbie Mindflay. Let's rock it.
And facing off against Robbie Mindflay comes Blue Moon.
Howdy. My name's Blue Moon, a wandering mercenary chef who is loved coast to coast for his explosive flavor, as I've been told. I was sitting in the tavern before. I believe this is a cooking show, right? Is it?
Yes, it's a cooking show.
This is a cooking show, and I'm gonna win it. I have been known by many names: the Cream Curdler, the Feline Flambe, the Meowtastic Mouth, Luna Azul, Diablo Gato, Chupacabra, and soon I'll be known as the Dragon Chef that blew his competition away.
Wonderful. Our chefs are now ready. Let us enter into battle as we prepare for today's episode of Dragon Kitchen. Greetings and welcome, one and all. Welcome, competitors, to this very prestigious event. How are we today? You hungry for victory?
Oh, I'm always hungry.
No. Oh boy, I'm hungry.
Excellent, excellent. Now, of course, we do have rules here in the Dragon Kitchen for our modus operandus and how we, of course, will award the greatest competitor the honor of being named the Dragon of the Kitchen. Now, firstly, each of you will be required to present 3 dishes to, of course, our judges, the lovely audience who are in chat. The dishes will be a starter, a main, and a dessert. Each may have accompaniments which will go towards bonus points for each of your dishes presented. This may be drinks, this may be sides, whatever tickles your fancy. But all must feature the special ingredient. A secret ingredient that you will not only have to cook, but face in combat in the arena of the Dragon Kitchen. Taking what you can, cooking what you will, and preparing while at the same time doing glorious battle. After the judging, all the points from the battle, your performative nature of your cooking prowess, and of course the end result of your cuisine, will be tallied together in order to determine who is truly worthy of the title. Gentlemen, are you ready?
I was born ready.
I
said that first.
You
I
son of a
said it
bitch.
first.
I said it first. You son of a bitch. You actually, I'll throw one of these fucking things at you right now. Bring it on. Bring it on right now. I chuck an axe at him.
An axe flies across the arena towards Blue Moon. As it does so, you watch as a small, basically like a halfling wearing black robes sort of steps out. He steps forward and tries to catch the axe in midair. Misses, and you watch as this axe embeds square into the body of this halfling.
All right, first kill on me. Everybody saw it. First kill. I got points. Points, right?
Don't worry, he'll be fine. Let us now turn over and see, of course, what today's secret ingredient is. Roll that clip. Creature born from the embers of its own ashes. Anyone in the Explorers Guild might tell you that this creature is highly prized for its beautiful plumage that seems to rage like fire, or its razor-sharp talons and beak. But anyone worth their salt knows there's so much more to this beast than meets the eye. Fire is like a companion to a good chef, and the fires of a phoenix are unlike any other. A dish said to have been kissed by a phoenix's flame is said to restore vigor and youth. Some even claim that it has the power to return the dead from beyond the mortal veil. However, there is far more to this creature than its flame. If you can time it well and either capture the prized egg of the phoenix or even its tender meat before it perishes and turns to ash, then you truly have yourself something to prize. Good luck, chefs. And there you have it. Our secret ingredient is none other than the life-giving flame, the bird of resurrection, the phoenix. What do you think?
That wasn't a duck.
That was not a duck. That was.
I thought
I'm
it was an
gonna make
oversized.
I'm gonna make the spiciest dish known to man.
I'm gonna make it spicier.
You don't even know real spice.
Well, I know a lot about spice. I know it's more than you.
Your name is Blue Moon. How much can you know about spice? You probably know a lot about oranges, right?
Well, that's another point. Host continue.
Points here, right? Again, sick burn. Get it? Spicy burn.
All right. Well, as our chat is getting spicier and spicier, let us now head to the arena for our first round, the battle round. All right, gentlemen, you find yourselves in a large arena, a huge squared dome. Each corner of this squared arena is covered and littered with different terrains and foods. In our top left corner, you see the forest terrain, filled with the abundance of the forest, berries, fruits, and other things that can be found ready for you to claim. In the top right, you can see that there is, nestled into the rocky crags, soft soils, and mineral-rich waters, the undergrove, filled with a variety of mushrooms and the like that any good scavenging chef would be able to acquire the exact ingredients they need. But for those who live in more of an urban setting, to the bottom left, you can see that there is the farmland terrain where you can get an assortment of cheeses, eggs, milk, and whatever things can be produced on a farm relatively easily. And of course, for those more daring, next to the brazier of fire is our abattoir, filled with an assortment of raw meats ready for use from our chefs. Gentlemen, we're going to get you to start by rolling initiative.
15.
28.
Okay. 15 and 28. Our Phoenix gets a 24. Which means, first up on our list, Robbie Mindflay.
All
The
right.
scene is yours.
Robbie cracks his neck. He looks over at Blue Moon behind the Phoenix and gives him a wink. He goes, "Hey, Big Bird." Do I get its attention? I slowly approach the big phoenix, and I pull up both of my scimitars, aka my meat cleavers, and I go, "Hey, listen, I don't mean to kill you. I just need to maim you, but I promise you, I'll make it quick." And I just, real quick, I'm just gonna run up and lunge. I'm gonna jump and take both of my scimitars and make 2 attacks. But as I'm jumping in the air, I want to try to like spit on them, to like spit shine them, to make them like nice and like clean and pristine. So like slices nice and smooth, just and then come down with 2 smooth like slices.
Nice. All right, make your attack.
All right.
As
First
these
one.
2 axes head down.
First attack is a 12.
12 will not hit. While you hit the plumage of the phoenix, the flames seem to part ways as your blades swish through the air.
Second, I get 3 attacks. Second attack, 20.
That one will find purchase in the side of the phoenix.
For 9 slashing damage.
All right, 9 slashing damage digs deep into the side of the phoenix. You do notice,
attack.
however, that as you cut the wound open, the blood that flows from within the wound seems to turn to ash when exposed to the air.
Yes. Third attack, 22.
22 is another hit.
For 8 slashing damage.
8 slashing damage. Super nice. I love it.
And then because I am dual wielding and I have the feats, I'm going to use my bonus action to make another attack.
Ooh, nice. All right, let's see
22
it.
to hit
That'll hit.
for another 8 slashing damage.
All right, nice.
Yeah, you ever see an Attack on Titan?
Oh, yeah.
When Lee is like, when Lee is just like spinning in circles around like the Beast Titan and just like up his arm. That's what essentially Robbie Mindflay is doing. I just run up, jump, spit shine my meat cleavers and just spin epically and just like do slash, 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 slash among his wings. I'm not sure what I could try to roll for this as I see the ashes coming down from the wing as I'm slashing into it. Is there a way I can try to like kind of like open my apron and like catch some of them in an apron by chance?
Yeah, I'll say that as part of your move action, you can make yourself basically collide with the ash that flies outwards.
Yeah.
It like sort of covers your apron, which as you land after this whirling dervish of attacks, you kind of dust yourself, like pat your apron, and it falls into like this little pocket pouch that's in your apron itself. The ashes themselves seem at first to look like nothing more than charcoal, but as you take a closer inspection of it, looks to be a multicolored, almost ember-colored ash, with oranges and deep reds that are mixed in with that blackened charcoal.
Yeah. As I'm collecting in my pouch and like kind of patting myself down as I imagine it kind of poofs in the air slightly a little bit. When I see the red and orange ember, I just like take one nostril and oh, yes, this shit. Great.
All right, make a Constitution saving throw.
Hell yeah. I'm good at that. Roll 17.
All right, straight up your nose goes the ashes, and as it does so, your eyes now have an immunity, for the time being, to smoke. So you can actually see through smog and smoke.
I'm just like, fucking just, yeah.
All right. Yeah. And Chad has just made a point. Yes, that is correct. Robbie Mindflay just did a Phoenix Rail. But from Phoenix Rail to the Oregon Trail, we now watch as as Blue Moon, you get to take your action. You do notice that the Phoenix seems to be on alert, but for the time being, it's going to hold its place.
I'm gonna look around for any just healing potions or just like pull out my rapier and kind of look around for any buckets or anything. See if I can find something.
You can see a halfling with an axe embedded in his chest running out with a bucket. This bucket has like a plus symbol on it. It is a bucket of healing potion. And he rushes over to Bobby and places the bucket down next to you.
What? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Do you?
Thanks for
Okay.
axing.
Well, I see what you did there. I see what I won't kill you later. Unlike the kobold, I would maybe go get some water. I've heard that heals most things. Anyway, thank you, and I'm just gonna dip the rapier in the potion of healing and turn to the phoenix and point the rapier, try and make eye contact. Now, I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way, but I need that thigh, and I rush with the rapier for the phoenix's thigh, and I would like to delicately gash out some thigh meat there.
All right. As you go to gash out the thigh meat, your rapier lunges into the body of the phoenix. Make your attack.
13.
All right. Very quickly, as you plunge your blade into the thigh, you make quick realization that perhaps a rapier isn't the best of tools to cut the thigh meat of a phoenix, as the flames seem to burn so hot that it creates an updraft close to its body. The thin foil of your blade suddenly deflecting upwards and missing very narrowly the actual meat of the phoenix.
Well, I wasn't prepared for this, and I'm going to throw down the rapier on the ground and just try and get the phoenix's attention with that, and then have a tentacle come up out of seemingly nowhere and lift the rapier up and swish it around in front of the phoenix while I move over to the cheeses and things. I'm going to cast Tentacles of the Deep with my bonus action, and then use the rest of my movement to get over into that corner, the bottom left.
All right, not a problem. You delve into the corner and use Tentacles of the Deep to stretch out these appendages, and you pull an assortment of cheeses towards you.
Yes. And is there any specifically? Can I look for, like any cream, milk, sweetened milk, anything like that?
There is all of the above. Pick your animal, pick the level of sweetness, and they are all available here in the farming area.
It just immediately is like scooping up some of the sweetened milk and cream, and then is like has got his own, like, he's made a little shot glass of cream and just turns around, like hands full, to look at Flay. Just...
You scared? You scared? You scared?
I'm taking my time.
Yeah, cat needs milk. That's what you need. Cat did milk.
It's cream. It's cream.
Cream? Oh, sorry.
I only take
well.
heavy cream. Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
When you serve me later, just take notes. Yes.
You're on guard.
All right. We then go to the Phoenix's turn. Having waited very patiently, it now begins its attack. It did not like the swirling attacks of the Butcher's Cleavers from the tiny kobold, and will indeed use its turn to take on a more fiery form. The heat just emanating off this creature is so intense that it starts to tickle and singe your nose. The little tiny soft body hair that wraps your knuckles and the like sort of begins to sear off, as the Phoenix will begin with a fiery talon swoop down to try and grab hold of Robbie Mindflay.
Hey, no, don't.
The talons dig deep, and as they do, a fiery inferno engulfs our tiny kobold friend, dealing 17 points of damage.
Oh, hot.
You then watch as the large beast takes flight and, almost like a comet, soars you in a random direction. Let's roll a d4, shall we? And see where you end up. Huh. All right, 1, 2, 3. He is going to throw you into the abattoir. All right, so the Phoenix flies you and crashes you into the meat station, then takes flight upwards and comes back down into the center of the arena once more. As this happens, however, Robbie, you see that something is on the actual bench. It seems to be a 4-leaf clover.
Huh. Just.
You take it for good luck and have been provided a hero point from our lovely audience. Thank you to McClover for the hero point, to Robbie Mindflay. Hero points can be used to reroll, petition the GM for stuff that isn't in the rules, or stave off a killing blow.
Yeah, I eat it.
All right, you've eaten. Ow! it tastes slightly minty. No, actually no. It tastes like those marshmallows you get in Lucky Charms, right?
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like. Yeah, as you cool. All right. Back to the top of the round, Robbie.
They don't have these in the mountain. All right. Well, so I'm over at the meat station, right? As I land at the meat station, I like kind of take this 4-leaf clover and I eat it. I'm gonna look around to see if there's anything I need over here. Just to kind of, might as well. Would there be like pork by chance? Like.
Yes, there's an assortment of porks. There's an assortment of wild boar. There's
yeah, I'm definitely taking
and
like.
don't look too into it, but there is also feral orc meat.
You see that for a hot second, Robbie does look at the orc meat and goes, yeah, cause I don't know, it wouldn't go over good with the judges. Okay. Pork. I take some pork and some boar meat, and I kind of like take it in my apron, open my apron up, and I throw it in there, close the apron shut, and shake it around to let the ashes kind of like get on it and start kind of like a dry rub.
Ooh,
and just kind of keep everything in my pouch right there. Like, okay. Turn around and go, hey, fiery fuck.
The phoenix turns its attention to you like a. Well, actually, you guys probably wouldn't get this reference, but it's a cassowary look where it's just.
Yeah. Okay, now that I got your attention. Hey, Blue Moon. Hey, look at this.
What?
Look at this. Look at this.
I'm
look
looking.
At this.
I've been
look,
watching. I have currently
I'm
been
gonna take
watching.
and like plug the other side of my nostril and just blow out really hard from like the ashes that I inhale, and a little bit of steam is gonna come out. And you just hear me go, ah! I'm gonna use my draconic cry to give myself advantage on my attacks until my next turn. I can't reach the phoenix, so I'm gonna take my 2 butcher knives and kind of like put them on my back, but then I pull out 2 just like filleting knives, and they're my throwing axes. I'm just gonna like yeah and throw 2 of them at the phoenix.
All right. The 2 axes soar through the air and head in their direction.
Oh, why can't I roll them? What the hell is going on? Hold on 1 second. Hand axe. I don't have equipped this way. Damn you, D&D Beyond. Hand axe. There we go. First one. That's a 10, but advantage is at 9. This is a 10 for the first one.
All right. This one goes wide and lands in the forested section.
Okay, and the second one, 9 on the first roll. 23 on the second.
23 is a hit as it finds Perch's dead center. Describe the attack.
So basically they're like 2 like just instead of butcher knives, they're just like fillet knives, like the long ones you like chop like vegetables and stuff with. And you see anime style, I just take underhand throw 1 and then do the same with the second one, almost at like same fashion. The first one just kind of misses, the second one has is flying forward. I'm trying to go for, I saw that Blue Moon was going for the leg and the thigh meat, and I was like, okay, it's a good idea. So I'm also aiming for, rather than the thigh, like one of the toes of the phoenix, trying to like chop off one of the toes with the knife.
Okay, very nice. As your filleting knife heads towards its toe, deal your damage and let's see if you can remove it.
4.
I have 4 damage. As it cuts into the toe.
I lied. It should be 9. It didn't add my dex for some reason. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. That is much better. All right, yes. The toe does fall to the ground. However, as it does so, you watch as the toe begins to burn and slowly start turning to ash.
Damn it. I'm gonna use my movement now and start heading towards like the mushroom area.
All right. What's your move speed? 10, 20?
30.
30. There you go. All right. You're partway towards the mushroom.
And that will be my turn.
All right.
I don't have any. Yep, that's it.
Blue Moon.
Just looking at Flay, it's like, You see that powder out there? That's why you don't try and kill the service staff. And he's gonna turn his attention back to the Phoenix and start running for the Phoenix. And as he does, the tentacle that was holding his rapier on the other side of the Phoenix is gonna throw the rapier towards him. He's gonna grab it out of the air, summon another tentacle behind him to try and start gathering a little bit of bread, and then jump and make a running leap at the Phoenix's thigh again. All the while making crazy eyes at the Phoenix.
Nice. All right. As you do so, the milk that you had was actually milk taken from a gorgon, a giant metal bull that has the ability to breathe like kind of this like almost petrifying mist out of its mouth. As you do so, this very, very high quality milk makes you feel more inspired. You feel more invigorated, and as you are charging, you feel like that strength in your body as you move forward. As you gain a hero point from our lovely audience. All right, make your attack as you charge in and go once again for that flank.
All right. I was gonna say, Flay isn't close enough to escape flanking.
No, he's not.
That's fine, because I totally planned for this. 12. That's it.
What was that? Oh, okay.
12. It's just a 12 to hit. That's
just a 12. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you want to use? I mean, you got the hero point.
Can I can use that to reroll the.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm using the hero point.
All right.
17 to hit. 17
to hit. Missed it by that much.
Oh.
All right. Unfortunately, as you sink the your foil in again, you kind of feel that charge kind of come in. You kind of push and you push, but your foil bends at the very thick area of the plumage that you've managed to strike. The Phoenix is not moved, not impressed, quite angry, but that is it. So your tentacles behind you have some cheese and some bread. You've moved up and you've made your attack. Anything else?
Nope. I'm just gonna stare up at the Phoenix and just go, you know what? You and I both know I'm not giving up until I get some of this leg. All right. So either you give it to me, or I'm gonna keep embarrassing myself. And then he kind of tears up. And that'll be my turn.
All right. The Phoenix looks at you. And then pretty much like you imagine a chicken eating like some corn, it just sort of whack, 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 just starts pecking at at Blue Moon. Its wings stretched out behind him. Oops, I don't know why I rolled twice, but I didn't roll twice. Oh, no, I did. I got a 26. Let me try that again. That was a 18 to hit.
I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge.
Very well. That is half.
Or sorry, Defensive Duelist. Duelist, and that's going to miss.
Oh, very nice. All right. Bam! It hits the ground near you as you dodge very narrowly. It is going to use a second attack from its multi-attack to hit you again. Well, to try and hit you again. Oh! 17.
That hits.
Wham! The second one does manage to find purchase. As 17 points of damage is dealt from you being pecked by the Phoenix. It just keeps going and just it's not making a single target attack. This is an area of effect attack with its beak, as it's just basically blindly hitting whatever's in front of it. Strangely enough, not strangely enough, the eyes of a Phoenix are slightly off center from its beak, so it actually can't see what's directly in front of it as it makes its attack. So that's why it's just sort of whacking the ground around you. However, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
15.
All right, with a 15, you manage to move with the swiftness of a cheetah as the area around you is suddenly caught in a series of spot fires. Everywhere the beaks landed suddenly ignites. But you avoid the damage. Alright, which brings us back to Bobby Mindflay.
Okay. I want to start with making the rest of my movement over to the mushroom area. Those are this is like a mushroom area, right?
That is indeed.
Yes, cool. So as I look around here, I'm assuming there's just a bunch of like mushrooms, or is it like vegetables, or like primary like just like mushrooms and stuff?
Assorted mushrooms, assorted root vegetables are also able to be found here.
Gotcha.
You can
yeah,
also.
I'm gonna grab a good handful of. First of all, just scoop a bunch of mushrooms and just again throw them in the pouch.
Okay.
I do want to find some like root-based vegetables by chance, like I don't know, like potatoes or like anything with like like long stringy vines of sorts. Kind of like I gotta pull out of the ground.
Nice.
So whatever like vegetables those would be, just kind of start ripping shit.
Make a survival
and
check.
I'm not sure. Okay, cool. Survival. It's a raw roll. 7.
All right, with a 7, you find it difficult to find anything special here, but you do manage to find an assortment of like sort of turnips and potatoes. You also find some edible lichen that is attached to some roots. It's like burdock.
Yeah. So I grabbed that. I just run in, scoop a bunch of stuff. What would you consider that? Action, bonus action? Just so I know what I can.
Bonus action to gather, yeah.
Okay, cool. I am then going to. Can I like just kind of look and see if there's any kind of like medicinal type, like do like a medicine check to see if there's any kind of like medicinal mushrooms here? Like
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, cool. Medicine for me, that is because I can do a thing with that. No, I can't. It's a raw roll for me. I lied. Medicine. 9.
9. Very well. You find a mushroom. You're uncertain of what it is. It seems to be a white-stemmed, red-topped with spots on it, kind of mushroom.
That'll come in use later.
You remember what this mushroom was called, but you don't remember what it did. It was called a wahoo mushroom.
Wahoo mushroom. All right, it sounds like copyright infringement to me, but I'm gonna keep it anyways. I'm gonna put it in my knapsack. And I go, turn around. I'm like, don't know what to do. Gotta think. Man, my pockets are getting heavy here. I'm getting too much shit. I know what to do. You see, I lift up my like loincloth pocket area, and I pull out one of my common items, which is one of my most favorite items in D&D Beyond. I pull out a frag grenade. And I just pull the pin. Cole, you probably knew this was coming.
No, exactly. I looked for it too.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's there. I just like, all right. I pull the pin. I just go, hey, eat this, big bird. I throw the frag grenade.
You watch as all of the staff just dive off the arena stage, and they're like, Jesus. All right.
Each creature within a 20-foot, each within 20 feet of the exploding fragmentation grenade must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or take 5d6 piercing damage.
Let's see. All right. Well, it doesn't with a 10. That will fail. That will fail so hard. All right. Deal your damage.
15 piercing damage.
All right. Flying through the air, this grenade explodes, sending shrapnel in a variety of different directions. What's the radius of it?
20 feet.
20 foot? Blue Moon, if you'd be so kind, could you make me a tech save, please?
I'm gonna remember this, Flay.
Does this feel oddly familiar to you? I'm having deja vu for some reason.
A little bit. I don't know why.
Up in the crowd, there's this giant crab and this gorilla just sort of like just cheering you guys on.
It was 17.
17. All right. Thankfully, you do take half damage from the explosion. Roll 5d6, Robbie, and let's see what you get.
Oh, I thought it was just the 15.
Oh, was it the 15?
I have evasion, so I don't take any damage because if I'm 6.
Yeah, I rolled damage. It was 15 damage, 15 piercing damage.
Oh yeah, no. I thought you'd need to roll it again. That's fine. All right. In which case, half of 15 is 7 points of piercing damage to Blue Moon, as you managed to. With evasion.
Yeah,
Oh, you take no
Yeah, it
damage.
doesn't matter anyways.
So you watch as almost bullet time these shrapnel shards. And as this happens, Blue Moon. Is Blue Moon a smoker, by the way?
No.
No? Okay. Do you know what a musk stick is? If I tell you what a musk stick is? No?
I will after a quick Google search.
Good. All right. As you kind of lean backwards, the behind you, one of the crates sort of explodes from the the grenade, and you watch as this rain of these like strange, like kind of musk smelling purple and pink candy sticks fly out. And Blue Moon, you catch one in your mouth, and with the explosion also catching the flames of the phoenix, it sort of lights the end of it, and it's this kind of very, very sweet, kind of smooth tasting candy that is now in your mouth as you gain another hero point from our lovely chat.
Yes. Okay. He takes it out of his mouth and just nothing comes out. Just
No, nothing.
Thank you.
But
And he
the
looks
end
right
of the,
back at that phoenix.
yeah, but if you blow out the end of it, it is a sticky caramel now because it's like melting the sugar.
He doesn't. He leaves it burning.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, Blue Moon, you're up.
Okay. looking at this phoenix, tears still welling up in his eyes, fragmentation, shrapnel everywhere around him. He's just like the now burning stick in his mouth. Just and he just takes the sword and tries again, just one more time.
I'm just imagining that you've kind of changed your grip from like the fencing foil to like just this like just trying to shank him. Just
Yeah.
all right.
26 to hit.
That will strike as Blue Moon's first attack manages
Yes.
to hit the phoenix.
I'm assuming I don't get a sneak attack. 'Cause he,
You know what?
Yeah,
You know what? It is so distracted from someone having thrown a frag grenade. I will give you the sneak attack.
Yay!
That's fair.
There is no way someone is focused on you when that stuff happens, right? Just no
Amazing.
way.
Who brings a grenade into a kitchen?
Yeah.
That's not what we
Moon's
meant
go,
when we said you could bring your own pineapples.
Damn, that's a good idea.
I just
24
painted my
damage.
grenades like pineapples.
24 damage to the phoenix.
24 damage.
And then I'm going to... Here's a question. I have a passive perception of 20. Is it possible to have the tentacle like look for specific things for me,
Absolutely.
despite being like a little while away?
Yeah.
Okay. Could I have the tentacle searching around for honey? I'm assuming it's in that
easily.
area.
There is a lot of honey that is around. I would get you to roll me a survival so that we can see what kind of honey you end up with.
Ooh. Survival. 4.
4. You find some just generic household honey. There is another type of honey. It is special and has been gathered. It is called bumblebear honey. Bumblebear honey is, weirdly enough, the only honey in the world to have a gamey taste to it. So you have regular honey and bumblebear honey.
Honey.
Now, as your rapier stabs into the thigh of the phoenix, it is still a piercing weapon, so it does not cut a piece of the thigh off, but you do open quite a large gash, allowing for this ruby red liquid to be pouring out. It does not ignite, it does not turn to ash, it doesn't even seem to evaporate against the heat of the phoenix.
Can I try and take some? I don't know if that would be a...
Unfortunately, because you're using your bonus action to gather at the... Actually, you know what? No, I'll say because you haven't moved, we'll use a move action to gather with the tentacles, and then yes, you can use a bonus action here to gather some of the ruby red phoenix blood.
I shall do so.
Done and done.
That would be my turn.
All right, this brings us to the phoenix. Now, the phoenix didn't like getting stabbed, but it liked having a grenade hit it far less. So...
Hey, it wasn't me. It was the crowd. It was that guy up there. That goblin up there. He did it. I saw him.
It was the
I saw
halfling.
him.
It was the
I
halfling.
saw the goblin. Wait, what? Halfling? Yo, no, I'm right. It was the halfling. It was the yeah, me and Blue Moon Tony. It was the halfling.
It was the halfling.
The halfling did it.
Make a bluff check.
Deception. Both of us or just who?
Just you, Robbie.
Okay. 7.
Okay, with a 7, you can see you see this. You see
I don't
this.
get advantage because Blue Moon helped me both points
Yeah.
at the halfling.
Sure, you can have
Everyone's just like,
advantage.
Yeah, it was a halfling. It was a halfling. 18 on the advantage.
Jesus. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's see. Does it notice? Its passive perception is 15. So, all right. Well, the phoenix looks in your direction. Sees you pointing at this poor halfling who is currently, like sort of like he's had the axe removed and he's like just had like a bunch of like bandages wrapped around him. He's got a bucket of like the healing potion for Robbie if Robbie needs it. Like he's just on the wings ready to kind of come out with it if he needed it. And you watch as the phoenix swoops over to the farmland over Blue Moon, the wing buffeting the flames, spreading them out from where you are. So there's now an even wider flame around you, by the way, Blue Moon. As it reaches down and grabs one of the carts. It grabs the cheese cart. And then it zooms around, flying, arcing back across towards Robbie.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
And then over Robbie, into the stands, and you watch as this torrent of melted cheese lands on the halfling, completely engulfing him in this pile of golden yellow, slightly charred cheese. And the phoenix, again, flies back to the center of the arena.
Holy shit.
Can someone gather some of that up? Can you just put that in the bucket? I know he was holding the bucket. Can you just start scooping that cheese in? Someone bring that to me.
You watch as a couple of the halflings, kind of look at each other, and they run over, and you watch as they sort of get a bucket and they're just like scooping it up, and one of them is crying like.
Hey, no tears on the job. Save those for later. Come on.
Actually, someone bundle up those tears. Halfling tears could go good on some.
Actually, I've heard you guys are lucky. Wait, bring that over here.
All right. Because you both contributed to that challenge, both of you end up with a bucket of Phoenix toasted fromage.
Phoenix fondue.
Fondue, that's the word I'm looking at. Like, it's not from. Well, I mean, from yes, Phoenix fondue. Sorry. All right. This halfling was not supposed to be that important to what was going on, but here we are. Robbie, it's your turn.
Okay. Let's see. What is on the other side? So I know there was the meat, there is the mushrooms. On the other side, there's like dairy products. What's in the top left corner?
Top left is the forest arena.
Okay. I don't have enough movement speed to make it there, but I want to try something really fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take my rope. Okay. And I want to like lasso it and try to wrap it around one of the phoenix's legs. And like tie, like kind of like pull and tight and grab it, and I want to use the momentum of the phoenix flapping his wings to send me flying over to the greenery area, and just like taking my hand like my knife and just like scooping a bunch of shit, and continuing to kind of like lasso around, like stay attached to the phoenix. So take rope, throw it around leg, have its leg just kind of like momentum pull me, and just grab a bunch of random shit and scoop it, and just kind of stay attached.
All right.
Not sure what you want me to roll for that, but
well, here's what we'll do. I will claim a hero point for that one because we'll look
Yeah.
at like expanding beyond the scope of what can be done in a regular turn.
I was hoping to burn my hero point for this. So.
Easy. Okay, now because you've burnt the hero point, I'm not going to do something so silly as to ask you to make a ranged attack that'll ruin this whole plan. So you grab yourself a rope and lasso into one of the talons of this giant phoenix. As it does so, the rope immediately begins to start burning.
Oh shit!
As this happens, the phoenix, like almost like when you grab a cat's leg and it kind of tries to shake you off, it tries to shake you off, which sends you careening and flying around the arena. I need you to make me an acrobatics check to time it right to be flung to the forested arena.
Oh, I'm good at this. Oh, I'm not this good. 17.
With a 17, you land safely in the forest arena.
Hell yeah. Cool. Now, what did that take of mine? Like, what was that?
That would just be a standard action. So you do still have a bonus action to gather, and you have a move action as well.
Yeah, I'm going to bonus action. So this is, what is all kind of like over here again? Like, give me some examples of like what I'd find.
So there are an assortment of things that, well, basically grow on trees or on bushes. There's even exotic.
I want to get like some. Yeah, I want to get like some apples. By chance, I'm just kind of like maybe some apples and like some berries, like some just like general fruits and stuff you'd find that that kind of grow on like trees.
Absolutely
and bushes.
Easy. Make a survival check.
Gotcha. Bada boom, bada pow, raw roll 14.
All right, with a 14, you find an assortment of basic fruits and the like, but one thing you do find that is very, very special is you find a pomegranate. This is not just any pomegranate, but it is the pomegranate. It is a Tartarian pomegranate. If a phoenix represents life, the Tartarian pomegranate represents death. It doesn't kill you to eat it, but it only grows in the underworld.
I like sniff it, just kind of like look around. I do take my tongue and kind of like poke it with my tongue. Do I taste anything?
It's very tart. It dyes your tongue red, and it's kind of got this really kind of rejuvenative ability. You kind of like feel yourself like, those hairs on your arms that kind of burnt off, they start to regrow. Little things like that.
I would like to take, if I could, not sure if I can or if I should like wait to do this. Instead of like moving, take that pomegranate and kind of like smear, like, take my my butcher knives, kind of like cut into it and kind of like smear the juices around the butcher knife.
Ooh, okay, yeah, no worries. Your butcher knife is now dripping this bright red Tartarian pomegranate.
All right, let's go. Hey, Blue Moon. Blue Moon. Blue Moon.
What do you want?
Hey, they should have called you Blue Buffoon. Aha! All right, that's my turn.
That was very upsetting.
Blue Moon, make me a wisdom save.
15.
All right. You take 1 point of burn damage.
Okay.
All right, Blue Moon, it's your turn. Actually, you do need to make me a dexterity saving throw, though, because you are still in the fire.
28.
28? You're fine. You ignore it. You're like, flames? What flames?
Fire. I was born in the flambe, that is the kitchen. Or so I've been told. Is the Phoenix... So the Phoenix is close to the ground still. The Phoenix isn't...
Yeah, it's hovering just off the ground.
Okay. Is it looking at me? Or is it still focused on Flay?
It's still focused on Flay. Flay is exploding him with grenades, lassoing him up. He's just annoyed at Flay at this point.
I'm a problem. That's what they call me down in the mountain.
I'm gonna be honest. I believe it. And Moon runs up and as he's going to summon another tentacle behind him and have the tentacle throw the bucket of healing potion right at where he is currently aiming to hit, which is the Phoenix's thigh. So he's aiming to have the potion hit the Phoenix's thigh right as he cuts into it. And he's going to pull out a dagger this time because slashing. And it's definitely going to work. He's
right.
going to run up and just try to hack away some of the meat with the
All right.
dagger.
Make your attack, and I do believe you still have a hero point.
I do.
Okay.
27 to hit.
That'll hit. As
And-
you do so,
Yes.
the your blade cuts a wound into its leg. Again, still piercing damage, so it is going to create another opening. But here is where I'm going to make things interesting. I'm going to give you a chance to make a second attack. This is a ranged attack with the bucket. You may use your spellcasting attack, as it is your tentacle that is throwing this. And if it succeeds, then I will say that you have cut off enough, or at least you've stabbed this enough, to have taken a piece of that thigh meat.
Can I use my hero point to reroll that?
Oh my god. That one.
You may.
Hits bucket with self.
Yep. 24 to hit.
All right, with the
With
24
bucket.
to hit, as you've stabbed into it, the healing potion lands on it and actually snuffs out the flame around its leg. As it does so, you reach down and you grab hold of the thigh and you kind of pull and you tear out a chunk of about maybe like a good solid like one or 2 pounds of like thigh meat straight out. This enrages, it absolutely enrages the Phoenix, who is going to just use basically a fiery buffet of fire at you.
Fire.
I mean, look, I've only got so many
no.
words in my thesaurus
A
for the word
fiery
fire,
buffet.
okay? Flames, fire.
Flames.
Yeah. So here's what it's going to do. It begins to flap its wings, and a rain of this crimson fire falls on you. Make a dexterity save.
That's going to be a natural 1, but a 10.
Oh my
So-
god.
Yeah. I've been rolling so badly.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you do not get out of the way, and you are the proud owner of 21 points of damage.
It's so half that because of evasion.
I can't. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
is that
evasion,
11?
That is 11. As this happens, the tiles of the arena start to heat up, and you start to get incredibly hot. Now, the entire area is now difficult terrain. Not in the sense, in the sense of difficult to move, but also you are now going to take passive damage from standing in the following area. There we go. That area there. Oops, no, come back. There we go. Boom. All right, that is what the Phoenix does. With its turn, it focuses on covering Blue Moon in a blanket of flame. That then brings us swiftly back to Robbie Mindflay.
Hey, Blue. You're looking pretty sweaty right now. You good?
Currently, my tail is on fire. So, yeah, no, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's what we call in the mountains a problem. You might want to take care of that. How far away from the Phoenix am I?
You are 20 foot away.
20 foot away? All right, I'm going to use my speed to run over there. So just kind of like without going to the... Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to run. I'm going to jump because I imagine he's like floating, like kind of like hovering above us slightly. Like how high up would he be? Like
I
hovering?
would say he's the equivalent of being ground level, but like I said,
Okay,
again,
gotcha.
he's just not touching the ground.
So I'm going to take, as I'm running, just cracked out crazy man that snorted the Phoenix line, just taking like windmilling my butcher knives. Just like, I'm going to run up and I am going to do some stupid shit. I'm going to first make 3 attacks. Well, actually, hold on. Let me go to my boop, my features, abilities. Sorry, I got to find it real quick. Okay, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna make 3 attacks. First one, 22 to hit.
All right, a 22 hits as your blade cuts into it.
All right. Does me soaking these in the pomegranate juice do anything?
Yes, it does, but
Or
roll your damage
6
first.
slashing damage
6 slashing damage. All right.
for the first one. Yes.
Okay, 6 slashing damage becomes 16 slashing damage.
Ooh.
As you cut into it, you watch as the meat, instead of being like kind of this white meat that you would see normally for poultry and the like, which you can see Blue Moon with the slab of thigh meat is quite brilliant and white. It's kind of almost got like a pearlescence to it. The meat that you cut is suddenly dyed this almost thick, dense red as you cut into it, as the pomegranate juice is now seeped into the meat that you've cut.
Hell yeah. Second attack. 15 to hit, which misses, I imagine.
15 will miss.
Third attack. 19.
19 will hit.
For 7 slashing damage.
Which goes to 17 slashing damage.
Okay.
All right.
Is it for me to pick up this meat that has fallen? Is that like a bonus action?
Nope, that is just part of the attack. You have now acquired.
Oh, okay, so it's just like falling into my knapsack.
Yeah, correct.
All right, I'm then going to action surge and do it again.
Nice. All right,
just windmilling underneath. I'm just like, yeah.
All right,
Like
make
a
your
Gatling
attacks.
gun. 27.
All right, with the 27, that will hit.
For 10 slashing damage.
Which becomes 20 slashing damage. All right,
Second attack. 27 to hit again.
that'll hit.
For 7 slashing damage.
And that'll become 17. All right. The Phoenix's flames look like they are dimming. And you have now got some you got a wide assortment of very, very tenderized and flavored meats. The cuts are very clean as well, like, because you've got some pretty high numbers. Your cuts are super clean. You are definitely skilled at using your butcher's knives.
Yes, and my last attack, 12.
12 will miss.
Yep, that's what I figured.
All right.
And that'd be my turn as I'm just standing, just hacking, and just collecting all the meat that's falling down upon me.
Nice, beautiful. All right, Blue Moon.
Is really quick, spells that affect more than one creature, it's not against any rules to affect another contestant, right?
Of course not. As long as it is not only targeting the other contestant, it is perfectly legal. Hence the grenade, for example.
Cool. I'm gonna cast slow on both the Phoenix and the and Flay there.
All right.
I'm just good. Wow, you've really lost a lot of energy there. We call that in my homeland, we call that a problem. And I'm gonna go up to the I'm gonna go up to the top left corner, which is like herbs and stuff, right?
Yep.
And I'm
Is
going
there
to
a save for
search.
slow, or it just happens?
It will. Here, let me double check. Wisdom saving throw for both the Phoenix and Flay.
17.
When I learned my save, just saves.
All right. Sorry, it was a wisdom saving throw?
Yep.
All right, the Phoenix gets a 25.
Both saved.
What are you talking about? I don't understand. What?
It's
Slow? What? I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Don't worry about it.
All right, as you walk across the scorching hot arena floors, you take 17 points of damage, Blue Moon. It is hot. As you make your way into the forested area. There, you can make a survival check to gather some herbs.
Yes, please. And could I also 7?
You find some basil.
Amazing. That's exactly what I wanted. Could I also use my bonus action to summon a tentacle on kind of further to the wall in the same area and just look for more herbs?
It's a bonus action to gather yourself.
Gotcha.
You've taken an action, a move action, and a bonus action. So unfortunately, you cannot command the tentacles to do stuff. But But you can, you can command them, and then the next available time they'll move to do it. But as we get to your turn and the Phoenix, who, by the way, Phoenix is very angry. Phoenix is so angry. So
What's wrong, bud? Just taking some entrails. It's all good. Don't move. Stay still. Stay still. Be over quick. Be over quick. I promise.
There is the sound of a bell. It is the sound of the kitchen gong. This is the last round. As the Phoenix goes over to Bobby Mindflay. It is going to use an ability that I have made up called Icarus.
Oh.
All right. It's going to start by making an attack against you. A 24 will hit.
Ah.
This does not do damage. It flies up, higher and higher, past the wards of the arena's like sort of domed magic barrier. You can see this purple light sort of get hit by the Phoenix as it keeps going upwards and bends before shattering like glass and begins to soar higher and higher and higher until it is 480 foot in the air.
I don't understand. Are you scared? What are you doing? Hey.
It looks at you, it looks at you, and
Hey.
you swear that despite
Hey.
it having a beak, it smiles at you and
Oh,
drops
that's not good.
Robbie Mindflay. It then follows Robbie Mindflay, engulfing itself in fire. As the two of you plummet back down, I
Is
need
this
you
just
to.
fucking Charizard seismic toss right now? You son of a bitch.
Yep. All right, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, on God? Okay. Dexterity saving throw.
Blue Moon has found some popcorn and is just watching us from the corner.
9.
9.
Yeah, did bad.
All right, that is not going to dodge. Okay. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, here we go. Kablam!
Say 15 dice. What the fuck did you just roll?
that is 45 points of damage from the impact of you slamming into the ground. Wham!
No, this is fine. Can of Coke. Can of Coke and I'll be good. That's all I
Fo-
need. Can of Coke and a line. That's all I need.
Followed by the creature, which then careens with its beak into your body.
Okay, that's not fine. That's not fine.
And wham! It hits you hard for 16 damage.
No, yep, that hurt. That would actually, okay, yeah, not gonna lie. You know, the drop, the size of the Pokemon ripoff, that sucked. But like the beak was just like the cherry on top. That was not necessary, dude.
All right. As the Phoenix leaves this tiny little crater where Robbie Mindflay was, we go into our final round. Robbie,
Fuck me. Absolutely. Okay.
keeping in mind you are prone at the moment after having taken your fall.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine.
Is he like still right in front of me?
He's above you.
Like how far?
Like 5 foot. Like same. You know.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
I'm like, okay, no, this is good. This is fine. This is okay.
stand up, crack my neck, everything cracks.
Ooh. All right. I hate to do this.
I take and just blow up my nose again. Some flame comes out. Yeah. And I'm gonna again use as a bonus action my draconic shout to draconic cry to get advantage on my attacks, and I'm going to make 3 attacks on him. I'm just gonna continue to windmill. Just
You son of a bitch.
Nice. Are you doing this from prone though?
no, I stood up.
Oh, you stood up.
I
Oh,
used
yes,
my
yes,
feet to
yes,
stand
okay.
up. Yeah. Critical hit.
What? Nice. All right. Roll your damage, I guess.
So that is 8 for. Oh shit! I think I rolled the critical wrong. I rolled 8 damage, and then how do I just roll it? Can I just roll a d6? How do I roll just a d6 in D&D Beyond? I forget.
On the bottom left-hand side, there's like a little drop-down menu with the dice.
There it is. So 8 plus 5, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. All right.
Am I still soaked in pomegranate goodies?
Yeah. No, actually, no. That would have worn off. Yeah. After
Gotcha.
all those attacks. Yeah. But this does cut into it, and you watch as, like, again, more of the ash kind of.
Oh yeah, I'm collecting all that ash. It's good stuff.
All right.
Second attack.
It's just pouring on you like this ash. It just.
Okay, well, 15, so that's gonna miss. And the third is a 23 on the first roll, and so 23
23 will hit.
for another 8 slashing damage.
All right. Golden opportunity here. This creature is unable to fly anymore. It lands tired, exhausted, wounded, and on the brink of death.
Hey, look at me. 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 Me and you. Hey, nah, I don't want to kill you. I've taken enough from you. So let's do this. Why don't you just turn around and fuck off and fly away forever? Be free. Be free. Go.
It sort of growls at you.
Listen, man. You're not in a good shape right now. I can tell. You're having a hard time. You're missing quite a few chunks. Your flames are gone. Just fuck off. Get out of here. Be free. Be free now. Go.
It screeches at you. You don't understand what it says, but for our lovely audience in chat who have, tongues cast universally across the entire arena, you realize that the Phoenix says you threw a fucking grenade at me.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Yeah, just be free. You're good. I know. No hard feelings, right? You know, it was crazy. It was like crazy. All that stuff that happened earlier, like that halfling that threw a grenade at you, right? Wasn't me.
All right, Blue Moon, it is your turn.
So they're both currently engaged with each other, right?
They're engaging each other.
Yep. So just right in the middle, just from off to the side, I'm just gonna, and suddenly, a bunch of daggers just start appearing in the air around them, just one after another, and I'm gonna cast Cloud of Daggers on both of them, which just hits, and it does 17 damage to both of them. Just puts them in a blender, quite literally. Just as my action, just.
All right.
Anyway.
As this happens, the daggers cut and rip and tear, and the Phoenix falls. As it does so, you watch as it engulfs in flame and transforms into an egg. A golden egg wreathed in flames, sitting on a bed of solid gold and burning embered ash.
I play.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, you hear from the announcer's booth, is the end of our battle round. As promised, Blue Moon has successfully delivered the final and fatal blow, which means, Blue Moon, you will be acquiring the rare Phoenix egg. You watch as it starts to crack open, and almost like it starts to like hatch. But as this happens, you watch as this cheese-covered halfling comes out with a bucket of healing potion and goes, "Ugh!" and and then stops it. And you hear the crowd cheer, and the halfling's like, he kind of has this shell-shocked look on his face.
The poor service workers that work here. How many of them have died?
They're just all interns having a bad day.
So many. Yes, so many people have died. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, our heroes have acquired the ingredients that they need. All right, gentlemen.
I was gonna say one thing. I will say during the time when Blue Moon gets the egg, they just I imagine they just give it to him. Robbie 100% thinks that he's supposed to get it. He walks in like, oh great, what the fuck? Oh no, it's fine. No, this is fine. No. I crawled so you could run. No, it's good.
You know what?
You know what?
Fine. You did an excellent job. And I take the egg and turn
I'll
around.
give you a goddamn egg.
All right, well done to our competitors. Definitely a heated battle there between yourselves and the creature of legend. But we have now reached the end of round one. We have our battle scores, which are going to be tallied. In round two, we will return and see our heroes go head to head against each other as they try to prepare the meals that they have. According to my list, here is the following rare ingredients that you guys have accrued. Robbie Mindflay, you have accrued the Wahoo mushroom, a very rare delicacy indeed. You have acquired the ashes of the phoenix, a bitter, spicy ash that can elevate many, many dishes, especially those who do have a high capsaicin content. You've also acquired several organs and bits of meat from the phoenix, which have been blessed with the Touch of Tartarus. The Touch of Tartarus blessing allows for those to interact or deal with the dead relatively easy. Some say that a tea brewed from the pomegranate allows you to speak with a loved one who is dearly departed. And lastly, you have acquired the Phoenix's wing as an extra bonus, as most of the damage dealt to the wing has left it so that when it turned, the wing did not actually entirely turn to ash. So you also have some Phoenix wings. Blue Moon, more impressively, you have the thigh meat and the golden egg as from the final attack. But in addition, you have also acquired an assortment of cheeses, including, of course, cheese from a gorgon, which you had acquired from your tentacles, and you have an assortment of breads and loaves and the like. Now, when we return to the kitchen, you will have, obviously, an assortment of mundane things as well, but this is kind of what you have currently.
And Phoenix Fondue.
Oh, yes, of course. And both of you have one bucket of Phoenix Charred Fondue ready and willing to be presented at any point in time. We're now going to take a break as our chefs go and prepare to start their cooking, but we invite you to stick around, grab yourselves, drink a beverage or something delicious, because if your appetite is not wet already, it will be by the end of round 2. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for round 2 of Dragon Kitchen. Did you guys get yourself something delicious over the break? I hope so, because if you didn't, then you're about to get some hunger pangs, the like of which you have never experienced before, as our heroes and chefs enter into their kitchen in order to prepare their feasts. But before we take them over there, gentlemen, I invite you to tell us, how do you feel round 1 went? Robbie?
Oh, thought it went good. Got a lot of meat, got a lot of cuts, nice pristine, nice and hot, got a lot of spices. Doing pretty good. I will be honest and feel like I did most of the work for that fight there. But Blue Moon reaped all the benefits. But you know what they say, you got to crawl so others can walk ahead of you, but eventually you become the runner and they remain walking. And I wink at Blue Moon.
Spicy. I love it. Blue Moon, any thoughts to share?
Well, I've had a lot of thoughts, actually, many of which have led to me kind of crying in the corner when no one's looking. But I will say, I do think I gathered pretty much everything I would need at least to deal with McFlay over here. I really think the killing of the Phoenix, as I was the one who did it, it's all about the finish line. It's not the journey. So, if this were about the tortoise and the hare, well, I would be the hare, but the story would be different. And there's a whole. It's a great. Back to you.
Excuse your mouth. It is 100% about the journey. It's never about the finish line. It's always about the journey.
That's said by someone who hasn't crossed the finish line yet.
It sounds like you went to a really bad school. If that's what you learned.
I didn't go to school.
You know what? I'm not surprised.
Did you?
I got
all right,
things are
heating
up.
Well,
there we go.
Things are heating up for our competitors. So let's now take them across to our lovely and awesome kitchens, which have been prepared with a variety of tools and magical artifacts for our heroes to use. All right, welcome competitors to the Dragon Kitchen. Here you will see that there is a variety of different things for you to use, ranging from your own bubbling cauldrons, the small elemental charcoal grill, as well as any kind of sundry food stuff that you may require for your meals. Now, this round goes over the course of 3 particular rounds, each of which will have a chaos event that you will need to deal with while you are cooking. Extra points are awarded for making those chaos events work for you during the game. But other than that, have fun. Prepare what you need to. And always remember, of course, that here in the Dragon Kitchen, we are only hungry for victory, not excuses. All right. Without any further ado, players, are you ready?
Ready.
He
is.
All right.
Bitch. Fine. I hate it here.
All right. In which case, let us roll that initiative and see who is going to kick us off.
22.
25.
All right, Blue Moon. Walk us through your preparation for your starter, if you'd be so kind.
For my starter. Well, I'm going to quickly find 2 pans, and I'm going to looking around. I'm going to grab 2 pans, take some of the bread I got, have kind of the tentacles moving around, tossing me ingredients as I need them in the kitchen. Having another tentacle show up to help me cut things up. I'm going to thickly chop cut into the loaf here, get some nice thick slices of white bread and start lining them up on a cooking sheet here. And then once I'm done lining everything up, I'm going to take some butter. I'm going to take a little bit of the phoenix blood and kind of put it on the tongue. What does it taste like?
As you taste it, it's almost like a very, very crisp Tabasco sauce. There's also a hint of sweetness to it, almost like a rich Romero tomato salsa. And as a finish, it goes down almost smooth, like a bitter kind of, almost like a red wine kind of aftertaste.
I'm going to take a little bit of that, mix it into a bowl with some butter, a little bit of that basil I found, some garlic, and mix it all together nicely. And then I'm going to spread that atop the each slice of bread nicely, just enough that it thoroughly coats it. And then I'm going to cover with another same size baking sheet, and I'm going to cast Create Bonfire underneath. And as I do so, I'm going to have I'm going to let it cook for a second, and then I'm going to have a mage hand come and kind of spin it a little bit, spin the pan, and then flip one of the top off just to check on it, and then kind of stepping back until it is thoroughly cooked. And meanwhile, there is a tentacle behind me setting up a double boiler over by the cauldron, and that has the moment that I think the toast is nicely starting to turn a nice golden brown on top. I'm going to turn around to the cauldron and just start mixing in a little bit of the actually, I'm going to step off to the side and open the phoenix egg. I'm assuming it's like a regular egg. There's just a yolk inside and all that goodness.
All right. We're going to go to do a couple of things here. Firstly, we are going to make you do a concentration check using your primary statistic. As you have your tentacles performing a lot of actions, in addition, you obviously have your mage hand going at the same time. You're trying to concentrate on a bunch of very delicate things. Let's see how you do with our cooking challenge.
And that is a wisdom, right? That is just a straight wisdom check?
It'll be plus your proficiency.
Plus proficiency. Gotcha. 13.
13. All right.
I would remind, I do have a passive perception of 20 if that is assistant in any way.
That will not assist you. However, what will assist you is that one of the tentacles seems to be very independent, very, very much so. This comes as an inspiration to yourself, as you have been given an inspiration point from our lovely audience member, D. Campbell. Thank you.
Amazing.
So, you can use it if you would like, but a 13 at present is not enough.
I will use it, yes. Is that just a reroll? Or?
That is just a reroll.
Gotcha. That is going to be a 19.
19. All right. With a 19, it seems as though you're slowly starting to lose control over a couple of the tentacles, but this independent tentacle seems to have stepped up and is now kind of almost acting as a sous chef and instructing the other tentacles while your attention is elsewhere. All right, and you will go towards the egg and start to examine it before you crack it open. But we're gonna go to Robbie's kitchen, and Robbie,
okay,
what's happening over in your side of the arena?
So we are making our starter dish right now, right?
Correct.
Like the appetizer, right? Okay. The first thing Robbie does is he walks over to a record player that I'm going to hope is here, and he puts music on. And you just hear silently and slowly getting louder a musical note of classical music. And you just hear "Time to Say Goodbye." That song starts just playing and echoing through my kitchen as I start to elegantly, you saw Robbie being all kind of crazy and cracked out during the combat, but now he's in his mood. He's in his mode. He's feeling great. Classical music. He walked up to a grill, a stove. He grabbed some buns. First, he pulls out the pork that he got, just some basic pork, and he throws it in a bowl and starts taking some knives and forks and different utensils and starts just pulling it apart, just kind of ripping, shredding, pulling the pork. And as he's doing this, he's taking some of the ashes that he had from the phoenix and kind of like throwing it in there, just like in an elegant fashion, like the same beat of the music as he continues to pull and rip and mix. And then as he continues to pull, rip, and mix, he does throw it on a burner to kind of let it stir and sizzle and begin to cook as he begins to kind of like toss it around. I hear the classical music. He continues to do this, kind of let that cook. He puts a pan, like a lid on top of the pan to let this pulled pork continue to kind of sizzle and burn. At the same time, he goes to the stovetop and takes a couple buns, about 3, and he opens them up and he puts them face down to let them toast a little bit. And he continues to kind of like let them sizzle. And he just kind of stops and admires and looks and breathes in, takes a waft, continues to smell until the pulled pork is done cooking and the buns are at a perfect, nice brown, golden toasted color as he begins to take the pulled pork and putting them on the buns. And then he tops them off with a little bit of the phoenix fondue drizzled on top of the pork, and then gently and elegantly putting the bun on top of each of these sliders, making some spicy pulled pork Phoenix fondue sliders.
All right. A very delicate process, almost like a dance as you prepare these incredible sliders. I need you to make either a dexterity or a charisma-based check. Dexterity for the delicacy of what you're doing, charisma for the very, very lovely presentation that you've done.
So we're just rolling dex and adding my proficiency bonus, right?
Correct.
Or my dex mod or proficiency bonus. They're the same, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. 19.
19. The sliders are placed side by side and have come together really, really nicely. The lettuce that you've chosen is fluffy and vibrantly green, and you could see the sauce sort of dripping and drizzling. That cheese kind of like like sort of still kind of half melted, and ready and delicious looking. All right, well done. All right, which then brings us to our first chaos event. Also, I hope you appreciate the classic music.
Yes.
It was great. Yes, that was perfect.
All right. So, now, the first chaos event. Oh no. Come back. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would like to invite our audience to roll a D20, exclamation D20 in chat. First in, best dressed gets our first chaos event. Let's see what we get. That is a 15 from Jupe Rocket, which is turning up the heat. Very appropriate, given our heroes are cooking with Phoenix. Now, Blue Moon, as you crack the egg, an intense heat begins to fill the arena. Both of you will gain a level of exhaustion every round. That is what's happening. So Blue Moon, you've got the egg, and as it's cracked open, inside you see what is almost this liquid gold, and it's almost like molten plasma. There are swirls of like this kind of red and yellow, like lava-like color mixed in with these bright, vibrant whites, as well as these kind of flecks of almost glittery pearl. All right. Blue Moon, we go back to you.
I am gonna be getting the biggest bowl I can find and getting this egg in there, and I'm immediately just gonna start whisking it up until it's nice and even color across the board. I'm gonna take about half of that and put it into the double boiler with a little dash of sugar, some vanilla, and some of that sweetened cream that I got. Or sweetened milk, sorry. And I'm going to kind of cover that and let it sit on a low temperature for a little bit, and turn around and start plating up the toast that I had made, the thick toast, onto individual plates. And next to each of those, there is a small side dish full of the Phoenix fondue, or as I like to call it, the intern fondue, as we don't know how much of the intern got into that. So that is all. Each plate has its own little dish with that, and that is set aside my Phoenix toasted garlic bread as my starter, and then I'm going to turn around and continue working on other secret things, other ingredients.
Amazing. Well, is that the end of your starter preparation?
That is, yes.
And Robbie, yours as well, I believe?
Yeah, the sliders were my starters, yes.
All right. Two of the halfling ninjas step out from behind the curtains, and they place a temporal bubble. It's a piece of glass that, when they place it over your dish, will keep it in that exact moment in which the dish has been placed until removed. And your starters are taken away to the side. Your main dishes are now your primary focus. Robbie, we're going to start with your kitchen. You start to feel that heat, just really kind of starting to kick up.
Yeah,
Both
the
of you
heat starts to kick up a little bit, and I try to focus to the classical music. I go, it's fine, Robbie. Robbie, you're fine. And I take my hand, I put it in my pouch, and I get a little bit of the Phoenix ash, and I go, it's fine. It's fine. Ooh. Okay. Is my exhaustion kick in now or at the end of the round?
Every round. So you're now at exhaustion 1.
That means I have disadvantage on my rolls, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, cool.
Let me
Well,
just double check.
let's just go with it anyways. So
Yep.
this is what we're gonna do. Would I have like mundane items like noodles and like, you know, like just like that kind of stuff?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. So I go get like a wok and I get some water and I throw a little bit of water in like this wok and I turn the heat on a little bit to kind of like start to let it warm up a little bit. And I go and I get some like long string noodles and I start to just kind of throw them in to let them, you know, soften up. They're not hard anymore, almost like I'm making like spaghetti of sorts. And I start kind of sloshing it around, spinning it, walking it to let the noodles continue to kind of shape and take form and cook. And as I'm doing that, I'm throwing in just slight pinches, just a little bits of the Phoenix powder as well to give it that kick that it needs. Continuing to stir and stir and stir until I see the noodles have hit a almost like perfect red color from the ashes that have been thrown in. As I continue to do that, I kind of let that sit and cook. I turn the heat down slightly to keep them warm, but then I go and I get some more water and I start to boil this next pot. As I'm doing this, I'm taking pieces of the Phoenix meat that I got, a lot of the cuts, the poultry, and I throw it in. I begin to let it kind of like boil and let the juices kind of like mix in with the water as I'm throwing in salt and pepper. And this time I take a little bit more, like a good amount of the Phoenix ashes and kind of like let it throw in, like I'm making a broth, but with the Phoenix meat mixed in. Continuing to let this all cook, stir together, and eventually I kind of wait until everything's the perfect temperature, and I begin to pour out some of the water, but not all of it, just a little bit. But then I take the noodles as well that I have now cooked, and I mix it in with the pot, and I continue to mix the noodles, the Phoenix, the ash, and just a small sprinkle, just a very, very, very little drop of the cheese that I got, just for a little bit of flavor, and continuing to mix and turn as I'm making Phoenix ramen. Continuing to mix, and eventually I pour it into one final bowl, and I top it off with the wahoo mushroom sticking out of the side, making the spicy Phoenix ramen.
Amazing. All right. This is an interesting challenge. I do like this. I'm gonna say that with the exhaustion's definitely crying havoc with your attention, as you are going to be rolling with disadvantage. But the plating is immaculate. The cooking requires a lot of timing. So I'm going to let you choose between wisdom or charisma as your checks. Wisdom for the timing and perfection of it, charisma for your plating.
Wisdom, because I get +5 to my wisdom roll.
Let's do it.
That. Bang, pop, poop, pow. 12. Oh wait, that's the first roll. 12. The next one was a 20, so with disadvantage 12.
All right. With disadvantage of 12, it's just tricky. You realize obviously ramen is a hot dish, and you are surrounding yourself by the hot stove, the hot water, the steam.
It. Yeah, like,
yeah,
all right, we're doing full send, let's go. Just like the mountain, just like Mama used to make before she left, just like Dad used to make before he kicked me out, just like the college told me to use before they kicked me out, just like the dragon used to like before they kicked me out. We got this.
All right. As the tears begin to salt your dish as well, that is a decent roll. That is a decent roll. But let's see what is happening over in Blue Moon's kitchen as he prepares for his main.
As we come back to Blue Moon, he's sitting there he's got the tenderized thigh meat on the cutting board with a big butcher's knife, and he is just cutting off bite-sized pieces. He's gonna dice it all up until he's got even bite-sized pieces of this Phoenix thigh meat, and then he's going to take a separate bowl and kind of fill it with some salt, pepper, flour, and a little bit of gunpowder that he has pulled from a keg that is below the the table, and he's just kind of looking around like it's very secret, and he's going to mix that into the dry mix and then start coating each and every bite-sized piece, and then he's going to take that and he's going to take it over to what remains of his Phoenix egg and throw in a little bit of water and start bathing each of these tenders, each of these nuggets of Phoenix meat individually, and then set them all off to the side until he's got a full, a massive pan of these coated Phoenix nuggets. And then he's going to take a little bit of breadcrumbs and just throw them, just fill the pan, throw another pan on top, and with a tentacle, he's going to seal it together and just shake it around wildly. Just while he does, and while he does that, he's going to then turn back to the double broiler and make sure everything's good there, make sure the temperature's good, make sure everything's proper, and then throw the chicken down, open it up again, and take out all of those bite-sized nuggets, and throw them into a massive pan of oil and fry them up just enough.
All right.
And then as he's doing that, as almost like a layer right before the nuggets hit the oil, he has created a create bonfire to ignite the gunpowder right as the nuggets go into the oil, therefore creating mini explosions that are snuffed just ever so slightly by the oil. This definitely doesn't create a hazard in the kitchen now that I'm thinking about it.
You're far too late on that one. You're going to have to make me a dexterity saving throw.
This is fine. Shall I finish describing first, or would you like to do that now?
Well, I mean, this is as you're doing it. So I mean, let's do this now and see if that changes where it goes from this point.
18.
All right, at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
12.
All right. There is, of course, an explosion of oil that does happen. Not because, I mean, ironically, it wouldn't have exploded had you not ignited it before it hit the pan, because as we know, wet gunpowder doesn't actually explode. But as you ignited it a little early, there is a spray of hot oil that does hit you. It is going to do some superfluous damage to you because you've still got plenty of hit points left. You take 4 points of burning damage as the oil sprays on you, and it creates a slippery terrain around you for this until it's cleaned, shall I say, which will take you which will deduct. Well, I say deduct points. It won't deduct points, but it'll take up your precious time. Until it is cleaned, you are at disadvantage on all physical-based checks. That is to say, your dex, your strength, and your con.
Can I have a tentacle clean it up
Yes,
while
you may.
I do other things? Yes, because I'm just currently standing still cooking this. So as I'm doing that, can I just have the tentacle kind of come in with a rag? Just like it's the same tentacle that was my sous chef. It's just it's Jimmy. He's just coming by and cleaning everything. The one tentacle that has gained sentience.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm gonna continue frying this up until it's nice and golden, and then throw them all onto a big plate and start individually pulling them all out and sorting out exactly 3 onto every plate. And then I'm going to take some of the plain honey that I have and mix it with the remainder of the blood that I have, the phoenix blood. And I'm going to mix that up nicely, so it's kind of like, it's almost like a grenadine, like it's like that red, almost like a, it
almost like a
looks
cherry
gelatinous.
color.
Yeah, it's like a cherry color honey. And once each plate has its nuggets on there, I'm going to drizzle some of this warm phoenix blood honey over the top of each of them, therefore creating my honey glazed phoenix nuggets.
Very nice. How big are these phoenix nuggets individually?
Each of them would be bite-sized. Would be
Very
just
well.
like, yes.
Okay, very well. Let's go with a wisdom check here. I'd say that there's, again, similarly, there's a lot of moving parts here. And then I'd say, yeah, let's go with the wisdom. Let's go with the wisdom cooking check here.
Not dexterity.
Sadly, not dexterity.
Oh,
And it's plus proficiency, right?
It is plus your proficiency. Yep,
at disadvantage.
at disadvantage.
Oh, it's at
Exhausted.
because you're exhausted.
That was a natural one.
It's a natural one.
Thanks
Alright.
for that, Brandon.
All right,
I
so
thought you knew.
So basically what happens here, because you're using a lot of tasting and the like, right? You're using a lot of your senses in order to guide your cooking, which is good, except for one problem. earlier on today, you sucked on a musk stick and attempted to blow smoke out of it. And as you touch it and you're like trying to do these taste tests, you realize all you can taste is musk stick. And you're like, damn it.
Just keep pretending. Just like, ah,
Yeah, he's
yes.
just pretending. So now I need you
Yeah.
to roll me a percentage check, please. Because, quite frankly, there is one thing in your kitchen that may sabotage you here, and that is you can no longer tell the difference between the Bumble Bear honey, which is quite bitter and awful, and your regular honey.
36.
You'll have to find out when we get to the judging round as to which you used. But that is that. All right. So are both of you done with your main preps?
Yes.
All right. Again, they come out with the little like time capsule bowls and place them onto your mains, which means we go into another Chaos Kitchen event. Chat, if you'd be so kind, roll me an exclamation D20 in order to determine what the next challenge is. Now, keeping in mind, guys, this is the last chance if anyone would like to. We do have some donation rewards here. A $25 will allow one of the players of your choice to sabotage the other's dishes. For $50, I, the host, will give them a boon or a wrath. And for the big old $100, we roll another Kitchen Chaos event in the middle of the game. All right. So, Odd Bandicoot coming in with the 19. That's a pretty high number. It's a very high number indeed. Let's see what 19 has for us here. All right. Save that. And boom. A 19. Superfood. All right. Both of you get to decide on an ingredient that you get, which is, of course, going to be quite super. The only catch is you have to wrest it from a mimic. If you do so, you acquire this superfood. Let us now go to Blue Moon, because it is Blue Moon's turn. Blue Moon, what is the ingredient inside of your mimic chest?
Can I have nutmeg? A very special nutmeg.
Absolutely. The nutmeg that you have is a rare type of nutmeg that grows high in the mountains of Icewind Dale. This is actually known as Rime Frost nutmeg because it is one of the very, very few herbs that actually do survive these quite intense temperatures. It is known to have a very prolific taste that would compete even against the strongest of flavor profiles. And boop, there is your, look at him, isn't he cute? There's your little mimicky buddy there.
Just adorable.
All right.
Just adorable.
And Brandon, what is Robbie's chosen ingredient?
Robbie wants Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. Quite frankly, you have Gnomish Cool Whip. This is a Cool Whip made very specially through a very intense process of pressurization, aeration, and cooling. So it's actually a one of those, like, you know, those gourmet cans that they use in like gastronomy for drinks, and they pour whipped cream and they just, you know, and it's like a hydro press type thing. That you have there's an entire canister of Cool Whip in one of those inside of your mimic. Now, keeping in mind, you don't have to fight your mimic. You don't have to kill your mimic. All you have to do is get it to open up and take the thing from within if you want the ingredient. All right. Blue Moon, we kick off with yourself.
So its mouth isn't currently open. I can't see the ingredient.
It is not open. It is slammed shut and growling at you.
You know what? You remind me of Flay over there, and I don't like that. And I reached to take out my rapier, and then I realized I left it in the arena with the Phoenix.
At this point, you can see a tiny halfling sort of... Shing.
Oh, thank you. All right. Anyway, and he turns back to the mimic. I'm gonna pry you open, and he uses the rapier like a crowbar and just tries to jam it in.
All right.
In between.
Make a strength check because it is still quite hot. But you have used the egg so that you're not expanding on your exhaustion, but you still have exhaustion. It is at disadvantage as you try to pry this thing open.
Yeah. So that's an 8 strength.
An 8 strength. The mimic starts.
Wait, proficiency, right?
Yeah, you get to add your. You get to add your proficiency. Why not?
Because it's the cooking skill, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. Yeah. 10.
No.
Okay.
I tried.
I've been adding the wrong number this whole
hard.
time.
All right. As you do so, effectively, the mimic laughs at you as you attempt to use your rapier as a toothpick. It enjoys it quite thoroughly. It encourages you to actually continue doing what you're doing, sort of showing you more of its teeth to pick all the adventurers out from between them.
Amazing. Can I? Is the tentacle done cleaning?
It is. It looks at you and it like twists its coil around to make a little thumbs up.
Can I have it come over and just help me like push down on the pry? Can I?
Yep.
just assist.
All right. You may make another check. This time you don't have disadvantage because you are getting assistance.
9.
The both of you attempt to do so when you hear this soft and heartbreaking twang. As the two of you have put so much pressure on your foil that it eventually snaps.
Can I get another? Can I get another rapier over here?
You can see that you can hear. The halfling comes back with another rapier. This one looks almost identical to your previous one. Except on the side of it, it just has like a little kind of like, that's kind of like, like when you get a LARPing weapon, they've got like the business name and like the company and the little scan card. It's got one of those just attached to the hilt.
I have the tentacle, Jimmy, take it and like kind of just replace, like pull out the old parts of the blade and then put in the new one. And as it's doing that, does the mimic have like a fake like lock or something on the front? Like a
yeah, it's where its nose would be.
Can I take some of the gunpowder that I have and just kind of palm it into that lock? And as I do, cast create bonfire on that spot.
We'll come back to you in a second.
Grenades are bad.
Robbie,
Yeah.
Robbie, what are you doing?
I see the mimic, and I'm gonna take just like a piece of like leftover like pork or whatever that I hadn't used. And we're like, hey boy, come here. I can't whistle, so I'm like whistling.
Yep.
Hey, see it? See it? You want it? You want it? You want it? You want it? You hungry? You want it? I'm gonna toss it up in the air. Let's see if he like opens his mouth for it.
He does. So what he does is he unhinges the back hinge on the just like at the base of the neck, and he opens entirely like the way a chest would. Okay. And he starts to shuffle to try and have it land directly in his mouth. Inside, you see the interior organs of the mimic, and you see a silver canister wedged in there.
All right, I would like to use sleight of hand to real quick.
You may do so. Do so at regular because I'd say that you are distracting him, so that would give you an advantage on that one.
24.
Woof! Your hand goes in, and as it pulls the canister out, you hear this slamming chunk.
I've seen Wanted once or twice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it happily chews on your bit of leftover pork.
I just give a pat. All right, appreciate you.
It looks like it wants more, but before it can like bother you anymore, a couple of the halflings sort of come out. You can see that one of the halflings, still covered in cheese, it's now hardening as he's sort of walking forward, and you watch as the mimic sort of looks at him. He looks at the mimic. He looks at the cheese. He looks at him. Ah! Then he watches the mimic runs. The mimic chases the halfling out of the arena. I'm gonna call that guy Eugene. That guy's Eugene now.
Easier than I thought it'd be. Huh?
All right. Blue Moon, you have stuffed its nose with gunpowder, and you have ignited it. It explodes the brains of this mimic. You can see that the lower jaw remains, but whatever was the lid is now gone. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah. Is it at disadvantage still?
It is at disadvantage still.
18.
It's not bad.
With an 18, you manage to dodge the large globules of very adhesive mimic that is blown clear across your kitchen. You see in its center, of course, a small, like kind of square vial filled with what looks to be a powder. But you look at each individual grain of the powder, and it looks like each individual grain has a tiny snowy cap on it.
Ooh. I'm gonna grab that and pocket it for later. And I'm going to swiftly kind of move over to check on my double broiler again. And I'm gonna have Jimmy kind of clean up, just make sure everything's spotless. I don't want to be messy in here. Have some class. Kind of. Can I see McFlay over there?
Yes, you can.
Is he? And he's actively done with the mimic.
Oh yeah, he's been done. He's been
you can see
done for a
I'm
little
already
while.
preparing my dessert. I'm just like, dude, I'm doing good over here. It's a really good day. Fuck you, Blue Moon.
Moon just turns back to his brother. He's like, rigged. This is bullshit. Just goes back to his carefully like.
All right, you're carefully continuing your prep. Okay, Robbie? Let's go with you. What are you preparing for your dessert?
All right, so since I got done getting my Cool Whip so early, I immediately went and just started slicing up apples because I grabbed some apples earlier from the tree and just like cutting up some apples. And I'm gonna take some vanilla extract, some brown sugar, a little bit of powdered sugar, and I start kind of like mixing together essentially like a cobbler mix for these apples. I kind of keep the apples like nice and cool, but then I kind of throw them on just take a little bit of heat to start getting just a little toasty as I'm mixing together this like puree, this like apple cobbler. At the same time, as I'm done, letting the puree kind of like settle and mix together and come to like a nice temperature so I can pour over the apples, I start to prepare like the deep fryer. And as the deep fryer gets to a broil, I pull out the phoenix wing that I got, and I start kind of like just pulling pieces of the phoenix wing off, like the meat pieces. I kind of like shear the feathers off, but I take the meat chunks, I take the bones out, and I begin strips almost of phoenix wing meat, and I throw them in the deep fryer. And I kind of like let them deep fry for a hot second, and I pull them out. Now, deep fried phoenix wing meat with the apple cobbler that is currently now prepared. I put the apple cobbler in the middle of a plate. Apples first, then the juice with the cinnamon sugar and everything else with a nice like little heat with the cinnamon. Then I take the phoenix wing, deep fried phoenix wing, and I kind of like place around almost like in a circular fashion, kind of like it looks like a sun essentially is what I'm going for. Middle, you got the apples and the cobbler, and then you have the phoenix wing deep fried on the outside, kind of like a sun. And then I take the thing of the Cool Whip that I got for the finishing touch and go around in a nice circle around the cobbler but in between the wings and make it look like a phoenix sun that has deep fried phoenix wing with apple cobbler and Cool Whip for a nice little texture and taste.
All right, let's make a charisma-based check. That plating sounds amazing.
Charisma-based check, and we add our proficiency, right?
Yes, we
This
do.
is cooking. Pop. 10. There we go.
All right.
Oh, wait, disadvantage, right?
It is a disadvantage.
Fair, yes. Trying to be it, but 10 again.
All right. With a 10, the plating is not as perfect as you would like it. Normally, you're a bit more of a perfectionist, but with time spearing away and every now and then you hearing an explosion coming from the kitchen behind you. Also,
fuck?
you're also sweating profusely. You're doing your best, but your hand seems to be a wee bit shaky here on the presentation, but good nonetheless. All right, Blue Moon, take us to your dessert.
With my double broiler having come to, I can see the creamy mixture having been cooked perfectly. I take it off and pour into several small ramekins a custard mix. And once each ramekin is full, I set the bowl off to the side and take a look around really quick. Make sure no one's looking, because obviously they want my culinary techniques. And I conjure an ice knife, and I quickly kind of shank each individual ramekin to try and quickly chill the custard in a flash freeze kind of way with the magic. And then once that's done, I toss it to where the mimic used to be, just on instinct. I go, cooking, not adventuring, cooking. Got it. All right. Jimmy, and I have Jimmy come over behind me, with the nutmeg, and he holds it out, and as he does, I take a little bit, and I take a pinch of the nutmeg and a pinch of the gunpowder, a very small amount, a very measured amount of gunpowder, very just a sprinkle, just a pinch to a dash. You know what I mean? And over each individual ramekin, there is a mixture of nutmeg and gunpowder. And once every ramekin has it, and I wave my hand, and one more create bonfire ignites all of them at once, sealing in the texture and the flavor of the Phoenix Flambe creme brulee.
Ooh, delicious. All right, let's make a dexterity check here.
That is a straight dexterity check. Is 21 plus 5, which would be the cooking, right? Would be 26. And disadvantage, sorry.
With disadvantage, yes.
Yes, which would be a 21.
21, masterfully done. Which almost makes up for your natural 1, in fact. All right. Yes, the creme brulee is ready to go. And with that, both of the desserts are now ready as you place the little glass chambers are placed on top of them and pulled to the side. They are now ready to be presented. All right, chefs. That is the final part of round 2. As I quickly tally up the scores, let us return to the main stage as we prepare for the final round, the judging. All right. Competitors, how do we feel like we performed in the challenge round?
There could have been some improvement. On my side, there were I would say maybe I was too good at my job, and things happened to explode even better than even I thought was possible. And also, there was some kind of music racket going on next door. It was real loud. I don't know, it was real distracting, but I pushed my way through, and I think the dishes will tell the story here, and I fist bumped Jimmy Tentacle, who's just been next to me this entire time.
It fist bumps you back.
Yes.
Well, you know what they say. I just wake up every day and piss excellence, and I feel like I really shattered the competition on this one. I made a killer entry dish. My main dish was pristine, and I can't wait for everybody to try it. And I think I made something pretty unique there for the the dessert. It's been quite some time since I've tried making some themed dishes, but I think we did pretty good. I heard one hell of an explosion happening when I fought a mimic, but I don't know what that was about. I'm guessing that was Blue Moon. Probably fucking something up as per usual. But if history repeats itself, then of course I'm gonna walk so that way Blue Moon can run, and he will forever be ahead of me. And this is rigged. It's rigged, everybody. It's fucking rigged.
I was thinking the same thing. Can we have can we hire a third party to come in here and just to figure out what's going on with this show? I think we need to maybe have a third party investigation team come in here and figure out everything that's going on here, because I'm not 100% sure that everything's all straight laced, as they say.
Yeah, I feel like they fake the reviews. Have you seen the
they
reviews
really
online?
Do.
They're
I
all
know
5
they're
stars.
all too popular.
They're all 5
if there's
stars.
any
It
question-
makes no sense.
If there's any questions about the reviews, of course, we do have our on-site investigator who makes sure that everything is fair for both competitors at every stage of this combat. They they ensure that we achieve a certain height of excellence, and that our competitors not only feel welcomed, but also ensure that they have all of the best that they need in order to showcase what they can do. Let me introduce you, of course, to Eugene. Eugene, step out here real quick. You see this halfling come out covered in cheese. Oh yes, no, don't worry about it for a second. There's nothing unfair happening here. Trust me. I am a very believable person here. Spot cheese. And I feel as though both of these people have been treated fairly, and there's definitely no sabotage happening here behind the scenes or during the competition. Definitely not from the halflings. Definitely not from people who are currently trying to use this moment that I'm using right now to talk to these people as a bit of a distraction in order to try and do nefarious things behind the sets. Nothing like that is ever possibly
Wait.
going to be happening. But
Wait.
instead, we're going to wish very good luck to our two competitors, despite them having, potentially nearly killed me 3 times already today in the span of 4 hours, which is, a lot longer than most of my time spent nearly, avoiding death. But I wish you both good luck and the best of victories to those of you who win and survive the complete the judging round. All right.
Insight check?
Eugene, how much do they pay you?
Not enough.
Hey, Eugene, blink 3 times and a half if you need help.
I can't blink anymore. The cheese, it stuck my eyelids open.
All right, fuck, I don't know how to tell if he needs help or not. Hey, Eugene, tap your foot once if you need help.
Again,
Eugene, just say if you need help.
He looks over at the announcer.
You need out of here.
He looks over at the announcer. The announcer looks over at him. The announcer reaches into his jacket. He says, No, of course, I'm perfectly fine and my family is safe. It's... All right, have fun, everyone. All right. See, so there you have it. Dragon Kitchen, the fairest show in the land. Let's get into the judging rounds now.
Wait, were the cameras off when all that happened? Because that. Wait a
It
minute.
was a strange blackout that occurred. Now listen, we are about to enter into the judging rounds, where of course the Dragon Kitchen staff are not going to be the ones to inevitably be the arbiter of the final and most important point. This we give to you, our delightful audience. We will have you listen to each and every one of the dishes from each of our competitors, and then we are going to be polling you to find out who, of course, has won your hearts and stomachs for today's session. They'll be added into the voting pool, and then once we allocate the points, we will have ourselves a victor. Now, without any further ado, let us head to the judging round. Our first competitor to present their dish, Blue Moon.
Hello, everyone. I wasn't meant to be here today. At least I didn't know about it till I think about 2 days ago. I was sitting in a bar. I was having some milk, and some guy, some halfling came up to me. He was asking about if I knew how to cook, and I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of in between jobs at the time. I really just said, hey, I could use, any work you got. I can cook meat. And he was like, that's good enough. And then he brought me here. And I'm gonna be honest, I just want to thank my mother, my father, my whole family for being here for me in my time. And they're not here physically, but they're back home probably. I don't know. I don't think they really care what I do. Anyway, starting off today, I just wanted to start you off light and ease into this culinary journey that really is exemplifies my cooking ability with some warm toast. Is a very very homely starter from my homeland, and I just wanted to put it on your plate. So you'll find this bread to be, it's been toasted perfectly, and yet the inside is still nice and soft, and just like me, a hardened mercenary on the outside with a soft center in the middle. Although you'll find I don't taste nearly as good, because this right here, this is my Phoenix toasted garlic bread. This has just a little touch of the Phoenix, just to ease you in with a little bit of that Phoenix blood mixed in with the butter. So I hope you take a bite. I hope you enjoy Phoenix toasted garlic bread.
The first bite of the Phoenix toasted garlic bread is crunchy and crisp. The aroma of the garlic spreads throughout your body, and you feel invigorated. The check was done beautifully, meaning that not only is it evenly toasted, but the butter itself is still in that quasi-melted sort of stage without having made the toast soggy at all. The crust is crinkly and crunchy, And as you apply even the tiniest amount of bite force to it, it makes a sound almost like crinkled paper as you take your bite. Well done.
And I've put some in front of McFlay as well. Moving on. I have for you, for the entree, a little thing I like to call honey glazed Phoenix nuggets. Now, I'm gonna tell you, from my hands to yours, I hope you do enjoy this because it took a lot to get this bit of meat, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. It really was a lot of effort. I almost died like several times. I embarrassed myself in front of all you multiple times. I couldn't hit anything. Turns out Phoenixes are hard to like cut it. Anyway, I would say bone apple tea. Is that how it's said? Right? Yeah, no. Eat up and fully realize just how delicious these nuggets really are. With a single bite, you will discover the crispy, crunchy, perfectly seasoned crust gives away to a delectably tender and juicy cut of flavorful Phoenix meat. And you know what? A single bite is said to rejuvenate the soul. So I wouldn't be surprised if the whole plate made you level up, as they say. Dig in.
As you bite into the Phoenix nuggets, each tiny one fits in your mouth so comfortably. There is a solid crunching sound as the breading crispifies and the sauce begins to flow over your tongue. The meat is juicy and burst forth with flavor. The oils and salts mix together, creating a slightly greasy taste in your mouth, but it's cut through by this sweetness. But the sweetness seems a little tame, a little slightly bitterer than the honeys you may expect. You're not sure if this is supposed to be part of the dish, but as you continue to chew on it, you reach for the next, and then the next. If nothing more, this is a very Moorish dish, and after 3 nuggets, you want the full 10-pack.
Keeps you begging for more. Just as Flay will be begging me for a taste of victory when I
I'll be
steal it
begging you
from
for
him.
something.
I
Okay.
get, you sit over there. You wait for your turn on this podium.
Shitty beer, bad beer, not good beer.
It's a great beer. You don't talk dirty. I mean, anyway, next up,
on God,
I
maybe.
next up on the plate for dessert, I wanted to really even out the experience. We started off with some nice, soft, crunchy toast. Then we followed it up with some nuggets, some nice, comforting food. All my food's about comfort. I just want you to feel comfortable. And also, I'm kind of winging it a little bit, I'm gonna be honest. But that's just part of the experience. That's what cooking is. Who needs measurements? Who needs measurements when you could just wing it? When you can just look at it with your eyes and years of adventuring experience and say, this is good enough. Now, following up. This took a while, so I want you to enjoy it. Take your time. This is what I like to refer to as a perfect evening. Take hold of your weapon of choice. I prefer a spoon in this case. And dig in through that hardened layer of sugar, nutmeg, and a little bit of explosive on top, straight down into that chilled and creamy custard palate cleanser. It's not too sweet. I just wanted to even you out after that sweet honey glazed experience of those nuggets. And you know what? With that special nutmeg, the taste is said to bring memories of past lives. And when you finish, a new hope for the future. Not too sweet, not too savory. And as a little gal by the name of Goldie once said, just right. Dig in.
As you approach the creme brulee, it is kissed by fire from a feather of the Phoenix's flame, which causes that thin layer of like crust to come out. The halfling that's holding the feather kind of like, does it like as a on service kind of like, as we're presenting it. And as you take your spoon and dip it in, you can hear the sound of that candied shell crunching as you dig into this very comfortable, warm brulee. It fills you up from the center and spreads out throughout your body. And for a moment, each and every one of you, you watch as this golden and red light begins to glow through your hair. Your hair starts to extend and grow longer, and your heart starts to beat more vigorously than it had before. In a good way, in the sense that you almost feel as though you could run a mile right now, or all of your exhaustion has just sort of slawed away from you. The sweetness that reaches your mouth seems to be a lot sweeter than you imagine. Not too sweet. But after the nuggets and the honey sauce, it definitely leaves a more pleasant taste in your mouth as you enjoy each and every mouthful until the brulee holder is completely empty. The host comes out and thanks Blue Moon for your dishes. Now, audience members, please remember these delicious, sweet, savory, and salty feelings, because we have, of course, our second competitor ready to impress you as well. So cleanse your palates as we welcome Robbie Mindflay.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everybody. Well, it seems that Blue Moon decided to make quite the spectacle when he first started introducing himself and why he's here. And quite honestly, I'll be honest, I'm not exactly one for speeches, but I feel like this is a special occasion. I was kicked out of my mountain at a young age. The Lord Elder Dragon didn't want me. My mom had left me when I was young. My father disowned me, and I was kicked out of culinary school. But I thrived. I survived, and I continued to adventure and become the best goddamn kobold chef the realm has ever seen. And I've prepared an important speech that I really feel like will explain just how much this means to me. And you see that Robbie pulls out a piece of paper that's like crumpled up like a napkin in his pocket and goes, Good afternoon. In less than an hour, dragons from here will join others from around the realm, and we'll be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind. That world should have a new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that today, the 28th of January, we will once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist, and to eat. And should I win the day, the 28th of January will no longer be known as a food competition holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today we celebrate our Foodpendence Day. Thank you.
Can I just take a moment to say I regret the music choice that I chose? That was very, very, very touching.
You see Blue Moon in tears on the side. Just
I give women a nod, just crying.
the announcer's just putting his head in his hands, like.
Right here.
Yes. Unfortunately, Robbie comes from a terrible world. But with those sweet words, let us hope that the dishes he presents aren't as bitter as the tears he is currently shedding.
All right, everybody. First up, we have a wonderful dish, one of the first ones that I ever made by myself, and I perfected over the years as I've traveled throughout the lands. I'm presenting an entire culinary dish for all three of my meals from what I like to call meals across the world. The first one, mine personally, from the deep mountains where I live, the one, the only, Heavenly Heat pork sliders. Made with fine ashes of the phoenix, sweet, savory, golden cheese from the phoenix, pulled pork, cooked to perfection, and a nice barbecue puree, and nice toasted buns with a little bit of a drizzle of the cheese on top. They have sat in perfect condition at the perfect heat for the perfect savory goodness. As I just kind of present them forward.
All right. As these sliders come to you, you take one of them in your hands. They fit snugly and warm, and as you take that bite, that crispiness and the savoriness of the meat rushes through your body. More importantly, the cheese, as you pull away from the slider with that bite, stretches almost like elastic, with little tiny like speckles of mottled charcoal over the top, elevating this kind of char together with the perfectly cooked bun and beef patty. The pork patty. As pulled pork, as it pulls away and sort of swirls in your mouth, you have a multitude of complex flavors, salty, sweet, savory, and of course that small that ashen bite. And each of you in the audience, as you eat one of these sliders, are suddenly blessed with a Endure Elements spell, as you feel as though even the harshest of colds could no longer stop the warmth in the cockles of your heart.
All right. Next up, personal favorite dish of mine that I've learned to make actually recently. Again, this is from around the realm. I obtain the knowledge, the ingredients, and the intelligence of the dish from the one, the only, Mount Irichiraku, a wonderful location of mine. In front of you, you see a nice, savory, succulent, sweet but spicy bowl of some of the best ramen you could ever imagine. Bits of pulled phoenix, chunks of chicken, and a nice, smooth, spicy, yet somewhat thick broth. As you continue to look around, you will see that there are small, little red speckles that continue to kind of bubble up from the ramen itself. This is the heat that kicks in. Now, be warned, it does kick. But after that kick, such a succulent, sweet, savory taste that you just cannot stop yourself from eating more. I present to you the From the Ashes ramen. And notice the final ingredient on top, the wahoo mushroom. As a nice little touch, feel free to dip, suck, or bite into the mushroom as you wish.
As the ramen comes out, steam seems to fog up the glass as it's lifted from this bowl. The broth is deep and rich, and as you dip your spoon into it to taste it, it's quite bold and robust. Though not having been aged as long as traditional ramens, it's still a very clean taste with that kind of that sense of the vegetables, the mushroom all colliding and dancing across your tongue, as you then start to take bites of that chashu and that those like really strong saucy flavors. The noodles cut through those really intense flavors and spread it smoothly throughout your palate. You eventually come to the wahoo mushroom itself, and as each of you take a bite, you suddenly enlarge. Looking down fearfully at the bowl, it starts to shrink in your hand as you now have what is effectively almost like a amuse-bouche as you finish the rest of the ramen in a single, almost palm-sized shot of this delicious tasting meal.
Don't you feel alive? You see that Robbie is very blatantly sweating, like, oh, absolutely, fuck me. Damn it. Anyways, next up, last but not least, a favorite dish of mine. One of the best desserts I've ever had. Quite different if you ask me, because there is a deep fried meat involved with a dessert. What? You may be asking yourself, who puts meat with apple dessert? I do, Robbie Mindflay. I think outside the box. Blue Moon thinks inside the box. You don't want to vote for somebody that votes inside. And fuck your box.
You leave my box alone. He's just shouting from the side.
I don't like to contain myself to a box. Okay, if that's what you're saying. That's a throwback to the podcast I did with Dag. Anyways, I present to you the Rising Sun apple dessert. You see in front of you there is a nice, warm apple cobbler. Very traditional. Nothing too special about it. Typical. Classical, just like Mama used to make. God damn it. Just like Mama used to make before she left Dad. Delicious. Cinnamon, succulent. Around the apple cobbler, a nice smooth line of Cool Whip, obtained directly from a mimic, which I indeed had no problem getting it from. I didn't waste multiple swords and explosives getting my Cool Whip. No. Simple snatch and grab. And then around you see the most interesting portion. Deep fried Phoenix wing meat. Now you may be saying, this makes no sense. Just try it. You take the phoenix wing meat, you slide it into the Cool Whip, and then you finish it off by dipping it into the apple cobbler. And dipping in and eating at the same time, you will get the most savory, complex, but interesting, but just delicious explosion of flavors your palate has ever suckled on. Enjoy.
As this delicious apple cobbler, which, I mean, if you look at it correctly, yes, it looks like it is on a painted picture of the sun. Perhaps the heat from the kitchen made Robbie's hands a little unsteady in certain parts. But there's one thing that is unquestionable, and that is, of course, the taste of the cobbler. The pastry is crumbly and delicious, and the sweetness of the apple has soaked into that pastry and created that absolutely miraculous mouthfeel of the cobbler as you place it into your mouth. The Cool Whip begins to cut through that sweetness and spread it outwards, but almost takes away from the apple cobbler until you place that chicken wing into it. As soon as that crunch hits, it is awakened anew. Like the phoenix reborn, the flavors merge together and create something that almost could easily pass as a main dish itself. The saltiness mixing together with the apples, the pastry wrapping around lovingly, these chunks of meat in your mouth as you chew on it. It's almost as if different combinations of this food as you eat it change its profile. The Cool Whip with the wing without any apple cobbler. The cobbler with the wing without any Cool Whip. So on and so forth. You begin to play and dance with your plate and your dish until all is consumed.
Thank you, everybody, for this opportunity.
All right. With a tear, we return to our stage. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen what our you've seen what our dishes have presented to you all. And I now have the scoring cards for your meals. It is very interesting, to say the least, because it is a very, very close fight. And the poll of the judge's favorite may possibly change the outcome of this battle. But let us start by breaking down our tally. Starting with our battle round in round 1. 2 points are awarded for the preparation style in which you have prepared your various ingredients that you have harvested. Out of 2 points, Blue Moon scores 1 point. Having harvested a great number of things, nothing was really prepared using the Phoenix in this first stage. But you did use your cunning, your wits, and your guile in order to use the opportunities in front of you in order to gain as much of the resources abundantly apparent to you as possible. Whereas Robbie Mindflay has been awarded the full 2 points for his ashen spiced pork that was prepared.
Free beer to anyone who votes for me.
Oh, fuck you, you sell out. It's shitty beer. It's like
and oranges. And oranges. It's still beer.
Blue Moon oranges and beer. All right. Do not bribe our audience. All right. Next up is the
rules.
Next up is the harvest. How much materials were gathered in a very quick show? It was very clear who won this match. With many hands making light work, Blue Moon acquired the most diverse selection of materials throughout the course of the first round, meaning that both Blue Moon and Robbie tied at 3 points each for round 1. Round 2, of course, our cooking round, where you guys were judged for 3 criteria. The first was your ability to actually cook and the proficiency in which your skill checks were performed. The second was how well you handled the challenges that you faced throughout the encounters. And lastly, your culinary finesse, your abilities to impress the audience while at the same time preparing your great dishes. As far as the skill checks go, both succeeded and failed due to the intense heat brought to the kitchen and blown out by that glorious phoenix egg used by Blue Moon. This means both of you scored only 1 point out of the prospective 2 for your skill checks. The second was the challenge phase, in which a mimic was brought to bear with some special ingredients. The heat of the kitchen was left to make everything a little bit more tricky and difficult. And I don't remember what the last challenge was, but it was very important, whatever it was. But more importantly, Blue Moon, while of course your enthusiasm and explosive personality made for a very entertaining kitchen combat, it was of course Robbie that took the day with the challenge round, with 1 point going to Blue Moon and 2 to Robbie. Lastly, the culinary finesse. Both competitors were equally finesseful in their actions, both of which had their own unique styles which brought joy and pleasure to any watching you work your wizardry in the kitchen. Robbie with your musical accompaniment and graceful stylings, and Blue Moon with your chaotic and somewhat rambunctious mastery of the tentacles that did your beck and call, including an extra, extra shout out to our dear friend Jimmy, who carried a lot of the weight in the kitchen. Both are awarded 2 points for this particular challenge, meaning Blue Moon has gained 4 points in this round, whereas Robbie has earned 5. We now go to the judging round. The judging round is now worth 3 points each, and 1 final point being awarded by the audience. The points are awarded by plating of the meal, your creativity in the dish, and then, of course, how delicious your dish was. For the plating of the dishes, both of our competitors received full marks as 3 points awarded to each for your incredible and masterful preparation and presentation of your dishes. For the category on your creativity of these dishes, both dishes showed excellence in creativity, with a amazing use of your skills, your histories, and your backgrounds. You both created incredible dishes, but Blue Moon, it was found that your main dish did not suffice as a main dish, as chicken nuggies may potentially be considered a main dish in some trailer parks. It is not Dragon Kitchen worthy as a main dish, but as an appetizer, truly marvelous.
To be fair, I showed up yesterday. I don't know what's Dragon Kitchen worthy. Free beer, everyone. Free beer.
Not nuggies.
Nuggies are delicious in every case. You ask any one of these people here, they would rather have nuggies.
Lastly, Robbie.
Yeah.
Your dessert was truly inspired, thinking outside of the box, and indeed marvelous. However, while the marriage of meats with sweets is not an uncommon thing to see, it seemed as though you did nothing to the chicken wings themselves to accompany the apples and other flavors that you had.
Deep fried. Deep fried. Everything's good deep fried. Cole, Blue Moon. You know everything's good deep fried.
Who's Cole? What are you talking about? Yes, I agree. Deep fried is good.
Deep fried is good.
Deep fried is good. But apparently they don't like trailer park food here. And
you know what? I'm just going to say it. You know what, Blue Moon? I was going to keep my goddamn mouth shut, but I came from a trailer park, okay? I fucking love chicken nuggets. You know what?
They're right.
Blue Moon,
they're amazing.
We're starting our own show. We're starting our own goddamn show.
They really don't. They're cheating here. You know what? We're going to take Eugene with us.
Come on, Eugene.
Tune in next week when we play Drake Campervan. It's gonna be just this tiny little bonfire.
Dragon Kitchen, USA.
You have you just basically competitors have $10 to try and make a 3-course meal.
Yeah.
Give me $10. I'll make you fucking meals for a week.
got
You don't know
this.
my life.
I'm
You know
prepared
how cheap
years for
ramen
this
is from the
occasion.
store.
Well, look, both of you got 2 points for your creativity. Very creative meals, very, very beautifully done. Lastly, deliciousness. Now, each meal was in its own way spectacular. But Blue Moon, unfortunately, due to a cooking error, the wrong honey was used, creating a rather bitter experience and somewhat gamey taste to your main dish. And gamey chicken nuggets are a bit strange. That being said, Robbie, something that was not considered was tasting the wahoo mushrooms before adding it as an ingredient. Much like the chicken nuggies did not suffice for the main, as soon as the wahoo mushroom was eaten, it was game over, as the dish itself then also fell into the category of appetizer, meaning that both of you ended with 2 points, which leaves us with a tied score of 7-7 in that final round. Now the polls are in, and this will determine the outcome of today's session. With votes leading towards Blue Moon, we see a tie for the very, very first time here on Dragon Kitchen, with Blue Moon and Robbie both receiving a total score of 20 apiece. No, wait, that's not right. 3, 7, 14, 15.
You don't know how to count chicken.
I don't know how to
nuggets, so
count.
I doubt you know how to count. That.
Look. It's 14 apiece, okay? You guys have 14 points
It's
apiece.
actually they're 10 pieces, so it's kind of
Very true. It's very true. Which means that we must go to the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is quite simple.
Rochambeau.
Yes, no. You both must design a drink using some of the leftover materials from today's dish. Whoever creates the tastiest drink and gets voted by the chat takes today's session. I will allow you guys to roll initiative to see who gets to decide who gets to present their drink first.
14.
18.
All right. In our sudden death round, Blue Moon, present your drink to accompany your meal.
Don't you do it, you son of a...
Get out of my mind, Brandon.
Look, we all know what you're doing.
Blue Moon walks up. You see off to the side, out away from the cameras. Robbie, off to the side, away from the cameras. You see him make this like masterful like milkshake out of like the sweetened Gorgon milk and all this other stuff, and then he just looks at it for a second, looks at the plate, knocks it over, and grabs a beer. And Sid walks out, slams it on the table in front of the host. He goes, "There you go. Oh wait, don't I got this. He leaves for like a minute. He comes back with an orange slice and just stuffs it in the open thing. Bon appetit. Apple tea? I don't know.
All right. He cracks it open and takes a long draw of the beer. The beer it's beer. That slight citrus taste seems to accompany the brulee well. Sour with that sweet aftertaste of the creme brulee goes quite marvelously together. together with the honey as well. Orange and honey are a true and tried match made in heaven. With obviously the phoenix having a very poultry-like taste, duck à l'orange, for example, it matches and it goes super well. As for your garlic bread, I mean, beer and garlic bread. What's better for a football game than getting some beer and garlic bread? It's a very nostalgic feel that comes over you. And Blue Moon, well done. All right, Robbie.
Well, I'm so fucking shocked. All right. What would I have them? All right, I'm just gonna go with it. I walk over to my, my concoction table, and I pull out, a little bit of, would I have like whiskey or anything?
Yes, you've got a variety of different delicious whiskeys.
Great. Okay, I'm pretty much gonna make like a very sweetened, like Long Island iced tea, essentially. However, there's gonna be a little bit of a spice to it because that's kind of my theme that I'm going on. Definitely like some sort of like spiced Long Island iced tea of sorts, you could say. A little bit of a kick to it, not a Bloody Mary, but like a little bit of a kick to it. However, the one thing that's gonna make it stand out a little bit is I'm gonna take a piece of that phoenix meat. I'm gonna like squeeze into the side of a bowl and get some of that tartarus kind of like savory flavor from it that was kind of like engulfed in the meat, and I'm gonna just drizzle a little bit of it in it and swirl it around. I put it in a nice golden like the silver shaker, shake it up, pour it over ice, and then the one final thing that I do is I take a match and I light the top on fire, and I go, I present to you a flaming good time.
All right. As you take this Long Island iced tea, the flavor profile immediately hits you. Being shaken and not stirred, you actually create a series of different layerings when it comes into your cocktail. The bottom itself has that really, really strong, like sort of Tennessee whiskey kind of kick to it. But as you start to rise, much like the Phoenix, that flavor profile begins to rise. Those spices begin to come into play, and then at the very, very top, you can see this thin layer of foam that you've made, and that sort of savory meat kind of smell is kind of just there, constantly wafting into your nostrils as you are enjoying this. Which, accompanying with the sliders, is what I like to call the stepmom's afternoon brunch, which is absolutely delicious. It seems to match perfectly with the spices of the slider. Going to your main, you have it with the ramen. Ramen and alcohol is a very evening kind of meal. Like if you're like kind of on the piss and you decide to go and get some late night food, right? So that alcohol is mixing together with those kind of ramen-y flavors, and kind of giving that very, very after school, like late night, very, very adult flavors.
Hell yeah.
And then with the dessert, of course, the piece that was missing from that dessert, the apple and the chicken wings, is now married here as those spiced apples now mixed in with the spice of the alcohol, and that umami from those juices that you extracted marry the wings together so deliciously and so tenderly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are our two drinks to accompany our meal. 2 minutes are on the clock. Cast your votes for the winner of today's Dragon Kitchen.
I can't believe the fucking Blue Moon.
I thought about it for a second. I thought about it, and I was like,
no,
I was
don't
like,
you do it.
no. I was like, I have to. I can't not.
It's part of it, It's like, yeah, you. I mean, imagine, not being called out on this sort of thing.
I've committed.
Commit to the bit.
Commit to the bit.
All right. Our poll is currently tied.
If it ties, is it just like a tie?
Is it just a tie?
I feel like it's a tie at that point.
Do we fight to the fucking death if it's a tie?
Yeah, we just roll initiative and just have you guys fight each other, and whoever lives.
Fight.
Can we just kill the host and take over?
I say,
we're talking about already.
Audience, hello. If you vote for me and for Blue Moon, we will start our own cooking show called Dumpster Fire Kitchen.
Dumpster Fire Kitchen. There will be so many explosions.
There's so many nuggies.
So many. It'll just be all the different ways to cook nuggies.
They'd be like Michael Bay, but kitchen, explosion, nuggets, fire everywhere, Transformers even. I got an artificer friend somewhere. He can build us a transformer.
Viva la revolution! Let's go.
So you think the first cookbook is so you think you cook nuggies? All right.
So you think you can cook nuggies?
We have another 10 seconds on the vote. Last calls for anyone before we announce our winner. All right. Well,
No fucking way. No fucking way.
ladies
No
and gentlemen,
goddamn way.
boys and girls. I don't even have, I mean, side note, I actually don't have a layout for this, so bear with me.
You were saying in the beginning how we would break your show.
It would break my show, and you did.
We did it.
Well
We
done.
did it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I present to you your victors for today's incredible and nail-biting session. And that is, of course,
Yeah.
the dual victory of Blue Moon and Robbie Mindflay. Congratulations, champions. I guess. How does it feel to win?
Well, feels great. Feels great. Did I ever give you some nugget here? And Blue Moon just brings over a plate of nuggies for Mindflay.
I grab some.
Dig right in. Yeah. They're sprinkled with the dust.
Holy shit, these are fucking good. Do you want to try this ramen?
Oh my god, I would. I
Try
would
the
love
ramen,
to.
dude.
Like,
Try the
oh,
ramen. And by the way,
Oh my
listen,
God.
I'm gonna grab a beer. I fucking love Blue Moon. I just want you to
Oh,
know that. It's like my
right,
favorite
you know-
fucking draft beer, dude. It's just-
listen, I understand where you're coming from. I understand. I just want you to know as well. Just it's a side note for the next hour. You're kind of weakened to wisdom saving throws and stuff. That's just. That's,
Joke's on you. I've always been weak into wisdom saving throws. Why do you,
You know
think I got
what?
kicked out of
You know
culinary
what?
school?
Hey, so am I. At least you went to school. At least you went to school. I don't even know where I'm going after this.
Listen, listen. I went for like a fucking day. I just gloat and say like I went to culinary school, but nobody knows
You
I
know
went for
what?
a day.
But you did, and you can say that, and that's more
I
than I
did.
can say.
Yeah,
And
it's
you know
like,
what?
like just
You
one
did
of
a
those
great
things,
job.
you know.
You did a great job, and honestly, I was over there salivating as everyone was trying your food. I was just, ooh, because you know what? I hate to say it, but sometimes I just love, sweets and meat. And honestly, I think
Sweets
without
and
the
meats.
drink,
I'm telling
right?
you.
Sweets and meats, and the
Was it-
cool whip, the cool
Cool Whip,
that was
right?
just-
Yeah.
the cool whip. Yeah, no, that was that. Oh my god, that was a wonderful addition. And I just want to say, you're brilliant. I could learn a thing. or
Listen,
two.
no,
I could- I
listen.
really
You're
could.
brilliant. I'm telling you, like
I
you
could-
make food just like mama. Just goddamn it, just like mama used to
No.
make. Just nice,
I-
classical, just classical food, just home cooked soul food. So good.
with explosions. That's
With
the only way to do
explosions.
it.
What's better than explosions? I love you. I love you.
I
Damn
got-
it. I fucking love you,
I-
man.
I love you too, man. And
God damn, I just
go
give
in
him a
for
hug. Like, yeah, we did it. We fucking did it, bro. We're on our own
We did
TV
it.
show. We're gonna
We're
kill
up
it.
here. We got
What the fuck
this.
do we win anyways? Hey, host,
I don't
what do we win?
know. I'm not 100%
What do we
sure.
win?
They just kind of dragged me here.
Well, Blue Moon and Robbie Mindflay, you have won, among your fabulous prizes, the honor of being considered, the both of you, a dragon chef. For the first time in Dragon Kitchen history, we have our first two-headed dragon. This means that you will be invited on to defend your title against other competitors, and you both will be invited to fight together against any who would dare challenge your superiority in the kitchen here today. With, of course, an emphasis on home cooking, country cuisine, and, of course, what we'd like to now, I'm just going to coin it as dumpster fire cuisine. We would like to thank, of course, the two of you for joining us today. We'd like to thank, of course, our sponsor, Hero Forge, who'll be providing these wonderful characters for you guys to enjoy for your time and your participation. And, of course,
Yeah.
guys, the performers behind these incredible characters. Ladies and gentlemen, Cole, Mr. Lightbox Gnome, and of course Brandon, our dear friend from the Cantrip cast. otherwise known as the GM Therapist. This guy, these dudes, right here. Look at them. Look at their faces. Love their faces. Guys, tell us about yourselves. Tell us where we can find you. Tell us all the cool stuff you're doing. And, yeah. Let us know. Let us know what you guys up to.
I'm nervous.
I am Brandon the DM on TikTok and mainly TikTok. Yeah, Brandon the DM on TikTok and Twitter. However, my main thing is the Cantrip Cast on YouTube. It is my TTRPG YouTube-based channel and also my publishing company where we make 5e compatible books or soon to be TTRPG system agnostic books or whatever the fuck we plan on doing here in the future. You can check us out on youtube.com/thecantripcast. And that's where the bulk of my content is. So
amazing. Oh, for fuck's sake, really?
Hang on, I gotta get it right. Shush.
Okay.
Wait. There we go. All right. Yeah. No, the headphones keep on. Oh hi. I didn't see you there. I'm Lightbox Gnome. You can find me Lightbox Gnome pretty much everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, all those wonderful places. I'm mainly, and on Twitch, actually, and I stream twitch.tv/Lightbox Gnome. I'll be there tomorrow. I stream most weekends, kind of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you can find me. I'm a variety streamer. I do all kinds of stuff, and also on a bunch of D&D places and stuff, including here and all the other places that I do D&D stuff. And also, if you just want to ask me a D&D question, even if I'm streaming something else, just ask me a D&D question. I will rant about it for hours, and I will thank you afterwards for giving me something to talk about that isn't my boring life. Let's continue on and thank Dead Aussie Gamer. Dead Aussie, can I come in, please?
Thank you, everyone. Guys, my name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here all the times during the week. I love hanging out with cool people. I make lots of friends in the internet space, such as these incredible people here. You know, I look forward to doing a whole bunch of stuff. If you want to see stuff with us, go check out Quincy's Tavern, where me and Cole are members of the Tavern Guard, and we play around. We have a lot of mischievous fun together. And, of course, Brandon and myself, we've done a couple of things in the past, but in the future, we've got something coming, something cooking related, I guess.
We do. Oh, yeah, we do. That's going to be good. I'm going to announce that here soon once I get everything set up.
It's a whole thing.
Oh, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot.
It's going to be
Actually,
hot.
If you go watch our recent podcast episode that Dag was, you know, we were grateful for Dag to join us on the recent episode of Unpack Tactics. I actually mentioned what we're doing in that. So
there you go. So, yep, go check out Unpack Tactics. There will be links in the description.
All podcast platforms.
Yeah, all podcast platforms. The links will be in the description below. For now, however, we'd also like to give a quick shout out and thank you to our sponsor, Hero Forge, for the wonderful, wonderful support that they've given us for this show. Guys, go check out Hero Forge because not only do you get like a bunch of really, really cool accessories to be able to make art and tokens for your online games, but also you can have them 3D printed in either paintable or color. You can do a whole bunch of awesome and amazing things. So go check it out, heroforge.com. And enjoy yourselves. Till we meet again, as always, from us to you, game hard or die trying.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.